Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Super Bowl Game Saturday. Sorry for the bit of a delay. It's about 15 minutes before or after we usually start. I'm Captain D-Trag. It is Saturday night at 7 p.m. Oh, 7:15 p.m. as it is now. It's your weekly stop for classic gaming goodness. I just had to check stuff with my tech. It looked like it was going weird as far as flickering on the video, and it looked like it was coming off on the recordings. And then I restarted my PC, and I had to figure stuff out when it came to doing my logins. But I want to make sure that was set. I also want to be sure I'm in good enough shape to do the game we're doing tonight, because I think we're looking good. Everything on tech is looking fine. I was actually tempted when I saw this going on even just a minute or so ago. I said, I might have to push this back to next week, but I think we're okay. If you're seeing any technical problems on the video, please let me know. I will figure something to it, and if we have to come back to this next Friday instead of doing it now, we'll do it. But I want to do tonight's show. I've been wanting to do tonight's show as far as how it is, because, of course, we are at the viewer request for August, where it is turning out to be the third one we're going to have. But this is the first one we got coming up. We're pulling up the Switch 2. This is our first show, showing it live. I've done the Switch 2 Chronicles Part 1 video, as far as that a few weeks ago, and I got Part 2 of that coming in a few weeks when we're not going to be around. But for tonight's case, we're going to be doing the most Super Bowl Game Saturday thing imaginable when it comes to the first show. We're doing a live stream up from Switch 2, playing a Sega Genesis game. With the picture of Luigi from Super Mario Party Jamboree with the Icarus wings. There's a reason for that. Because tonight, on the request of AJ42, we're playing ToeJam Earl. This came out in October of 1991 for Sega Genesis in the US. Came in Europe a month later in November, and then it came out in Japan on March 13th of 1992. It was published with Sega, and it was developed by Johnson Vorsanger Productions. They then would become ToeJam Earl Productions after this game, because this is a case where this carved out a big niche for Sega, and it was a very vital time for them, because it was 1991, Sonic the Hedgehog had come out a couple months before this, and I guess that was Sega really kind of showing what did they do that Nintendo was not doing, and they said, we're going to try a lot of different stuff as far as games we got, and Sonic was one of them, and also I guess the case of 90s Attitude, seen on the box art right there, is jamming. Let's take a look at the details, and there's Ed Wack playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah, in this case, it's not necessarily dissimilar to that in the sense that it is kind of an open world a little bit. In fact, this is actually the first roguelike, or roguelite, depending on how you put it, game that we're playing for the show. And I thank AG42 for making the request on this one. The setup of this is that you're two funky aliens, ToeJam and Earl, and you have to go around Earth because you're flying your ship in a pretty lengthy opening, which we're going to show. And what happened is that your plane, or your ship, crash-landed on Earth. They come from the planet known as Funkatron. And when they land on Earth, there are all these Earthlings who don't understand the perspective of ours and the idea that, they're crazy and we gotta get our way across. We have to go across 25 floors, as it turns out, of Earth in order to find the 10 ship pieces we need to get our way back home. It is an interesting case when you think about what Sega really was doing as far as that era of Sega Genesis, of saying, we're gonna have some different experiences. Stuff with arcade ports like Strider, even though that was not a Sega joint, and beat 'em ups like Streets of Rage. But you have stuff like the Sonic the Hedgehog games that were going on. You had, again, arcade ports like Mercs and Golden Axe 1 and 2, and Eastwat and Echo the Dolphin, which is saying, here's some different experiences that you were not necessarily getting on other systems. And that was kind of the idea of what they were trying to do with this one. I'm going to get this started running the intro, as I'm going to tell the story of this one as we go. Yeah, this is this company, as I mentioned, Johnson Vorsanger Productions, was founded by Mark Vorsanger. He did programming back in the Tandy days, particularly on Demon Detective Tandy Color Computer, and also for the TRS-80 Coco. He also was involved with Night Trap, the Sega Genesis or Sega CD game as far as full motion video. He was involved heavily with that perspective. He also did development of the Minister light gun shooting game that came bundled with the Sega light gun. We'll go into that in a bit because it does connect to this one. He also made Fathom on ColecoVision and did playtesting on Star Control 1 and 2 for the PC. And he also demoed or developed the game that led to Night Trap, that being Project Nemo, which is by Hasbro Interactive. The lead game designer, this was Greg Johnson. And also it's worth pointing out, let's make sure I'm getting a sense of this. Oh, right, Mark Vorsanger did all the voices in this. We'll get into that as we go. Yeah, and also lead game designer Greg Johnson, who, his background was kind of into roguelike games or being inspired by roguelike games. We're seeing the story here of their highly funky, ultra cool, righteous Rat Master rocket ship. Yeah, there you go. That is quite a statement as far as what their ship is, saying, oh man, we're these cool aliens with ToeJam, or DJ TJ as later games in this franchise would indicate. But yeah, this became a franchise on the back of this cult hit. and Earl, who's the clumsy guy, but still one who has a lot of style and funk to himself, which is a cool case. Yeah, as far as Greg Johnson, he was heavily influenced by a game called Rogue, Exploring the Dungeons of Doom. It was a 1980 joint from Epix, the people who would make Chip's Challenge. It was a dungeon crawler with turn-based square grid gameplay and permanent death, and also randomly generated areas, which is something this game took around as an option, that you can play it linearly. We're going to play it linearly on the request of AG42, because I asked him, what do you want to do for this? How do you want me to handle this? And I said, okay, do it linearly. Said, okay, but we will show off how, random's going to work. Anyway, if you're also wondering what roguelite games really are, because I had to ask myself that question, as unfortunately, ToeJam made the mistake of saying, Earl, you can drive. I was like, can I drive the ship? He's like, yeah, you can, but as you're seeing these hearing these unbelievably high-quality sound effects, as he's screeching around space, he's like, yeah, by doing that, he crashes this, or he's gonna crash this into a planet, or an asteroid or something, and a crash landing on Earth. Yeah, and you get that nice forced frame screen case of like, oh! It's very elaborate how this game is doing its storytelling. Also, one thing just to mention before I go on. You're gonna have to bear with me on this one a little bit because, like last week when we did Shadowheart's Covenant, I'm still coming off of a sickness. So I might have a lot of coughs going on here. So I have tons of tea, I have tons of water. I'm feeling good enough to do tonight's show. I did rest a lot today because I did want to do this. If I couldn't do it, I would have pushed this to next week. But I said, well, no, we can do this. I think we can handle it. And we'll be doing mic pulls, by the way, for how we usually do for the show. But also, if I have to get a case of getting a coughing fit, I'm going to pull that quickly. And I'll try to edit around those when I do the edit in a few days. Thankfully, OBS is not showing the problems when it comes to the screen flickering. I don't know if this is a Switch 2 thing, because I was doing the off-screen recordings with it and it was fine. I thought I saw it with Shadowheart's Covenant last week. But anyway, just to go on this quickly as far as the idea of roguelite, I'll let the intro keep going. You hear these funky beats, we'll get to the music for sure as far as because it's a big part of this. Roguelike is known as an RPG. Basically, it goes like dungeon crawling, because that's kind of what this is, as it is. With a lot of influence from tabletop RPGs, stuff like Warhammer 40,000, things like that. But also can be called roguelite. So sometimes it goes one or the other. It's like, what kind of game is this? And we haven't necessarily played any games like this on the show so far. So we're definitely filling in a massive gaping hole in our coverage when it comes to this. And I was not expecting ToeJam Earl to be the first one we did. But AJ42, who I work with, he was mentioning, hey, I have a lot of memories with this game. And I said, you want to see this game? He's like, yeah, sure, absolutely. I'd love to see it. I said, sure, I'll bring it however you want. And for the purpose of running this, we're running this on the Switch Online case with the Nintendo Classics for Sega. So it's like the Sega Classics as is on Switch 2. It does play on Switch 1 if you have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. It's also been ported to... It was on the Wii Virtual Console, you can no longer buy it. There's an SVC ToeJam Earl collection that has it, that was delisted from the Microsoft consoles, the Xbox systems. It's backwards compatible with the later Xbox console if you bought in time. I think they might delist it on the PS3, but I also know that they had cases where stuff like that, they forgot to delist it because I guess nobody cares if the PS3 store after all this time it is going dim, so they got the D-pad. Keep it going that way. Yeah, and this game had some humble beginnings. It was an interesting case of saying what they really wanted to do with this, because the perspective of Greg Johnson and Mark Borsanger was really, we wanted a game that had humor to it, because I guess it was one of those cases where early on in gaming like this, what was the idea of what, making a comedy of games were? You have stuff like LucasArts games like Secret Monkey Island, things like that. We'll have that stuff with our dialogue, which this game has too. But they want that. They want something original. They want something that was easy to approach and understand, and give an immediate response to the player's actions. And they also wanted two-player mode, saying, hey, enjoy this game with a friend or a family member, say. And they wanted also to have a case of making it very seamless. We're going to show that very briefly as far as how we go. But yeah, they're going to crash land again. Well, let me just see something. As far as this game, because it was very elliptical, we're going to see that. And it's like, yeah, rule of thumb, don't drive like Earl, as far as how it is. Now we're on Earth, and we're going to have to get our way out. And that is, this became a bit of a franchise, despite the fact that it was not a huge seller, but at the time it was something that had sold 315,000 units, which was impressive for a game that really didn't have much of an expectation. You pick up this box. I remember seeing this when I was growing up, and I played it every so often. It was one of those things that I was young, and maybe didn't know how I was operating it specifically, but it was something that I always was kind of curious about. I was like, yeah, I didn't necessarily expect this kind of game out of it. And I know we haven't necessarily shown the game yet, but we're going to get to that as it is. You get this great perspective color. Okay. Okay, so you do have two-player mode. I'll show off the elements of two-player, just how it works later. You also play as ToeJam, and you can play as Earl as far as single player. Now, worth pointing out this. The characters do have different attributes themselves. Let's see where I have that. Because I know I took that down somewhere. Because I did take a bunch of notes on this game to make sure everything was set. Wait, did I? Okay, because the idea is that it's not necessarily massive as far as the different attributes are. But the idea is that Earl is slower but a little stronger. ToeJam's faster but not necessarily as, I guess, as strong, but it's also a case that's kind of negligible. It's not something that's necessarily going to make too much of a difference when you really think about it. So in some ways, it's kind of going to be an element of preference, and it plays the same regardless of who you pick. Okay, I'm going to run for this. I'm going to start with ToeJam. We can show the other characters or the other character, I should say. Yeah, as I said, this sold 350,000 units, which for the kind of game this is kind of impressive. And it was something that it did get a series going on this game, and it definitely got a cult following to itself. Yeah, in particular, it was the direct sequel to this, which is ToeJam Earl and Panic on Funkatron, which came out in 1993 for Sega Genesis. And later there was ToeJam Earl 3 Mission to Earth, which was on Xbox. It was originally called All Funked Up. And in 2019, we had a kickstarted sequel to ToeJam Earl, that being Back in the Groove, in particular. And that one apparently was something that was popular enough, and it was also inspired on the TV show, Regular Show from Cartoon Network. Apparently it's something that they're trying to get a movie off the ground on this. I don't know if we're going to see that, because Sega's mentioned they're going to try to do stuff, I guess, on the back of the Sonic the Hedgehog films, with stuff like Eternal Champions, but I don't know if we're going to necessarily see that. And there's also one other game that this was tied to, which is technically the second one, and one we cannot show on this show unless I emulate. And that is Ready Aim Tomatoes. It was one of 6 games within the cartridge that came with the Sega Menacer. I'll picture that when I edit. It was a light gun for Sega Genesis that had light sensing technology, kind of like the Super Scope from Nintendo. And it came with a 6-in-1 cartridge game, one of which was Ready Aim Tomatoes that was tied after ToeJam Earl here. And you're shooting tomatoes around, and it's pretty fun. I played it back in the day on the Menacer unit itself. Because modern TVs cannot run a light gun like that, we'd have to emulate that game. I'd have to show it that way. But if you've never seen Ready Aim Tomatoes, it's an interesting one. It has a great style to itself, just like this game does. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, with the idea of it being like a roguelike game, a roguelite game, take your pick, you can play it randomly generated. When I did my practice for this game, I did do it this way, but I asked AJ42, how do you want this to represent? You want me to do random? He's like, no, do it fixed because random is too random, which makes sense. And since you do have an option for the purpose of doing that with this game, yeah, may as well do it that way. You always look at the intro again. You can do Jam Out. We'll do Jam Out later. It's basically a little bit of a fun mini mode where it's kind of sound test. But what you do is whilst you're listening to the music, you press buttons and you have ToeJam and Earl dancing and doing their thing. And they have controller options, which is kind of just walking around. It's not like a traditional platformer in particular. There are 2 variations. I'm going to go with the standard, which is press the A button for using actions. B button brings up your menu to use presents, because you can open presents. They can do nice things for you or not nice things to you, depending on what they are. And map, which is on C button. I do have the Sega Genesis controller for Switch that does run on Switch too when you do the linkage with it, so we're all set going that way. And before we start, I just want to get a sense if there's anything else in particular that I forgot to mention. Okay, I guess the idea of what this game is, and I can also sort of show that. So let's start Fixed World, because we're not on time limit, because here's the game. We have ToeJam, the alien with 3 legs, and yeah, there is a penis joke of that when it comes to the 3rd game in the franchise. That's an interesting one when we get to that one, as is the case. But, oh, okay, fine, I found the, okay, I knew I took this down. The attributes. Earl has a higher health bar than ToeJam, but ToeJam moves even faster than Earl does. But yeah, as I was saying, here he is with 3 legs, but if you will leave him there, he falls asleep. But the idea is you have to press the buttons in order to wake him up, and so, WAKE UP! Which you actually have to do in the 3rd game. It shows the idea that, yeah, they kind of were having a lot of fun with this game, which was inspired by the Hawaiian Vacation of Greg Johnson after he finished Starflight 2. And he was kind of thinking some ideas of the sci-fi aspect of that game, and then said, why don't we do a roguelike case that kind of ticks off those boxes of what we wanted to do. And then he met Mark Borsinger when he was on a trip to Mount Tamalpais in California, and they said, hey, we have this great idea, and that's kind of how they went. And also, ToeJam is a wiener while Earl is on vacation. Earl's on vacation means that the other player's not around, so he's just gonna kind of go and do his stuff. ToeJam is a wiener. That is the upgrade system in this game, or the promotion system. Because as you go along and you open presents and you get through areas, you get your ranks increased. We're starting as a wiener, and we're gonna go all the way up to, well, we'll see what we go all the way up to. In this case, just walk around using D-pad, press the A button to do actions. When you don't have a present or anything set, you hold the A button and you do tiptoeing. In a way, it's kind of like a stealth game, because there are gonna be enemies around and you have to tiptoe around them because you can make noise, and they might get they might detect you if you do not do this. But you also have presents. You hit the B button to open up the menu. You have your points, and based on those points, that gets you promotions. You have bucks, which is your money, which you use to buy goods and services. You can see later. You start with 4 presents, bonus high tops. Use these, press the A button, you're able to be running for a brief period of time while it's on the screen. But you also pick up presents, they have question marks on them. They're not identified, so you are kind of taking a risk when it comes to opening a present. And you do have a limit of, I believe, 10 presents. We'll take a look. Michael's will go in the water. When you go in the water, you're swimming, but over there is my life bar. ToeJam's not going to survive forever, so you have to go out and jump on land in order to have to recover. And it's worth pointing out, this is not one of those games like Super Mario 64 or something like that, where if you have health that's depleted when you're on land and then you go in the water, that you can recover it back to its full element. It will basically go down from wherever it started and go back to where it was when you came up. But in that case, I got the presents, and you can open these, or you can also say, hey, I want to wait, because you can have them identified, because depending on what you do with this, you could be screwed, but also something that is kind of a great risk-reward, because I guess everybody loves presents, but the idea is that what presents you want to get in particular. As we're on level 1, and the goal of every level is you find the elevator. It takes you up to the next area. And the stars on screen, those are your lives. If you lose all your lives, it's game over. There are no continues. If things is really bad, since I have this, I will use the rewind, but I will not. I'm going to hold off on doing that because I want to go through this thing legitimately. And they also, when you come up to an area, it says hit ship piece here. So it tells you, okay, on this level, you'll find a ship piece. Not every area is going to have that. And when you come up with the elevator, you press down the D-pad to come out. But I also got to be careful of that devil dude. Yeah, because in this case, the devil has manifested on Earth. But Earth is looking like a bunch of islands here. You get this great music. Okay, let me get a sense of that. While I'm in the area and not getting myself potentially in trouble, I want to make sure I took down who did the music. Because if I didn't, I'm going to be really mad at myself. I thought I took down who did the music. You know what? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do right now. Improvisation time. I want to make sure that I get this music out there. Actually, maybe this is one of those cases where I didn't find music credits. Because I know I took notes on this thing a couple months ago, as far as how it is. I do want to get that sense, because this is, okay, there you go. So I'm looking at Moby Games for this one. Because maybe it's a case they didn't credit it. Okay, so, did I take that down? Because the 2 people involved with the audio for this game... Okay, no, the music direction... Okay, the music composition. It's John Baker. Yeah, I guess I must have not taken that. Everything I didn't take down for this game, I thought I took down the music. Alright, we're gonna talk about the music. The music in this was done by, as I mentioned, John Baker. He did the music for, Science City with Scottie Pippen for the 32X CD that we played. Did not actually know that. As well as Wacky World's Creativity Studio, which we're gonna play. Sleep, for sure on that. He also did music for NBA Action for Sega Saturn. Gex Enter the Gecko, for both PlayStation and the Nintendo 64. As well as Walt Disney World Magic Racing Tour for the PlayStation and the Dreamcast, and also Legacy of Kain Defiance. And he also was involved with do voice editing on The Sims 2, and actually a lot of expansions of The Sims 2, and also the base case of it, and Army and Stars War for the Xbox and PlayStation 2. Okay, so there you go. That is the case of the name as far as the music. I thought I took that down, but I guess I didn't. But all right, ToeJam, wake up. And the fact you're getting voice samples that are as clear as this on the Genesis is pretty impressive. Because you'd think, well, would you get that because the audio tech is a little weird as far as this console compared to Super Nintendo. But you kind of do. And also, you can find things around the area. You get a mail order if you find the mailbox. Except you have to find a specific mailbox because someone will come to life and hurt you. So in this case, you can spend your bucks and you can buy presents. But if they're not identified, you're not going to know what they are. So I guess what I should do is I probably should open a present or use the ones I got. Let's open this one. Let's see what goes on. See what the god's with us. Oh, boombox. Okay, what the boombox does is it makes aliens, or enemies, I should say, hear that and they'll go over towards it. It'll be a little bit of a diversion. But the devil guy's asleep, so if I sneak past him, he won't wake up. The artist and the great drums, the great percussion goes to what the Sega Genesis sound design or sound chip was really good at, which is bass and drum. And if there's any game on Genesis that emphasizes this one, but here's our first ship piece. You go around, you find this flashing perspective with the sign there. Again, the first piece, that is the rocket ship windshield. I said, this is the linear mode. You're going to get them in this order, but when you play on random, you get different pieces in different orders. Okay. And if you hit the C button, that's your map. It reveals as you walk along. And if you find a telephone, you'll be able to reveal random parts of the map. Now that I got the piece of the ship, we can go to the end of the level, but I have to find where the elevator is. So it's kind of a little bit of an exploration game, and also a game that is very relaxing. Oh, let me tell you this. When I did my practice on this game over the past couple of months, I found it really kind of intoxicating playing this game in a way that I don't know if I necessarily feel all the time. And actually goes to something Edwag mentioned, because he mentioned with, oh wait, he mentioned the Spyro the Dragon. I was just trying to remember what game did he mention this with. He said, this is one of the few games I play for relaxation, but I really get that sense of feeling kind of in a zen state. That's kind of what ToeJam Earl can do, especially this one. Oh, but I don't want to deal with you. Also, if you fall off, I go down to the previous level. I don't want to do that. But I can go that way and avoid him. Or I can open presents, and it's worth pointing out, if you open one present, if you have the same picture of a present, you'll then know, oh, by the way, that's a boombox. So you can do that, but there's also cases where, yeah, you're taking a risk because there's one present in here that's a little bit of a bad case of itself. The randomizer, where it basically makes every present a question mark, and you have to identify them again. I'll probably show that. But also, that's the thing, you do have to open presents, but you know, what I can also do is I can try and find someone to help me identify them. Yeah, because not everybody on Earth wants to kill you. Whoa. Uh-oh. I'm getting sick. Okay, so, talk about art imitating life here. Shit. Okay, I guess in that case, I probably should, as I'm making the walk towards the elevator, talk about tonight's unofficial sponsors. Yeah, tonight's show is unofficially sponsored by Bigelow Teas, Constant Comment. Perfect to show. Shit! Oh, no. Devil Guy, sorry. Our first most famous blend, flavored with sweet recipe of orange rind and sweet spice. It's good stuff. You put some honey in it. It's good. It's delicious, but also good as far as dealing with sore throat and stuff like that. But there's something to pick up. Gross. Old cabbage. That's bad food. Eat that, you lose health. Also, Deer Park water. It is very refreshing. I don't have Poland Spring tonight, so it's going to be that case. As well as Golden Blossom honey. Premium pure U.S. honey from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Oh, and also Kleenex brand tissues. Blow us. Okay, so with that, let's get ourselves going. I do have that set in order to go through this whole game, because this is a really good game, and one, as I said, is very relaxing, it's very unique, and something that you only get in cases where bad things happen with this. And sometimes they can, and I'm just gonna go in the elevator. Let's go up to the next area. There are 25 floors, by the way. So this might not be that long of a game. And I will, by the way, be using the elevator sections to do mic pulls and also for the purpose of if I get a coughing fit or something like that. Or getting more hot water. Okay, so level 3. And you do have a limited presence. I think it's, I said 10, that's not right. I think it's 12, but also that's the other thing. Can I talk about a mail order? Yeah, I do need to start opening presents and also find items around for the purpose of getting more money and also for food, but you also get those out of present boxes. I guess in that case, I think we'll do it. Let's open this one. Okay, that's a door. You open that, that's actually really good. You go in that, you go to a random part of the map. Let's go. Oh, it took us right to the elevator. And since it didn't say there's a ship part, and now I got pizza, there you go. That also reveals parts of the map we find in the telephone. That's actually really good, because that means that it transported us right here. It's random where it puts you, in particular. So I can say screw it and go. But also there's the hamster ball as far as how that is, so you gotta be careful those and get myself to run over. So I don't necessarily have to hang around here. I guess it's how speedruns of this game work, in the sense that if you get the right items, or if you play in linear mode and you know what presents do what, you can use those to get through quickly. And as you're seeing there, when you go down certain parts of the map, they will reveal paths you can go down. Alright, but we did get to the elevator in record time. Alright. And since I just did a mic pull, I'm not going to do another one. As far as how it is. But alright. Also, whilst this is going, I'm just going to look at my other notes as far as what we got. Also, I will be showing off some of the secrets of this game, but I will show them off later, depending on what I get. Alright, there's the Carrot Man. We do want to talk to him, because he can help us. Got $2? Sure do. Here you go. For $2, you can have him identify a present. So I'm going to look around, I'm going to see... Do I have anything that's multiple, or that's multiple cases of presents in my inventory, which I do not. So I will pick this. What is it? Root beer. Okay, that's good, sort of. I do want to get more money, though, but yum. Pancakes. Yeah, pancakes are good. Most food tends to be good. We get bad food as well. You're also seeing the hula dancer, so going into the Hawaiian perspective, why is that? Well, because, yeah, as I mentioned, Greg Johnson was on Hawaiian vacation, and he got inspiration that way with the hula women. And that's the idea. When you pass the hula women, you'll dance on your own like that, which can put you at risk if there's enemies around. Because you're going to be stuck, caught in the funky flow for a little bit of time. If there's enemies around, that's going to be bad news. But for now, that's good. For the root beer, though, I need to be careful using that. Because what it does is it recovers my health, but it also causes you to burp for about a minute or two. And that causes noise. Although, yeah, okay, there's the, was it the hamster ball again? Wait, is it a hamster? Yeah, I guess it is. Well, it looks more like a beaver as far as the face. Or if I can find more money, I can identify another present. Because if I can identify where the randomizer is, that's good. Oh, well, there's another guy. That's Santa Claus. If I can get to him quick, which I don't think I can catch him, and then I can get presents off him, but unfortunately, he jetted away. I still don't know actually how to take him down. Okay, but if you walk around, I'm getting those, fireworks. We get those going, it means we're getting closer to... Okay, here we go. We got a promotion. We are doofus. So we were a wiener, and now we're a doofus. So this goes the idea that we're fat and stupid and popping fresh, as we're going to be having our perspective of getting ourselves to, well, you'll see the rank as far as that, because we're going to get there. Now, I do have a doorway, so I do know what that is. Let's use that again. And see where it took us. Okay, it took us over here. So it took us where the mailbox is. Mail order. Okay, there's doorways. I could find money to get them, but I'm not getting good luck on money, and I'm also kind of not going crazy opening up presents, as I would think. Alright, but you're dancing, and I do need to grab that. Okay, wow. Hamburger. Okay. Yeah, so we got ourselves a nice burger that's on the ground, and we said, yeah, I'm stuck. I can't get out of the way. It does look cool, and it does show how good the animations in this game really are. Even if they're a bit slow, they're surprisingly more fluid than you'd think they would be. Yeah, I do not have stuff that... Okay, that's... Oh, the same guy. You know what? There are no enemies around. Let's drink the root beer. Why not? Ah, root beer. So it's good as far as the case that it gives you recovery of health, but it's bad in the sense that it can cause noise. So there's enemies that are susceptible to noise. They'll hear that burping, and they'll say, yeah, we see where you are. Actually, one thing I never tried. Do you hear the burping when you're in the water? Oh, yes you do. I was gonna say, if you do that when you're actually in the water, that might not be good. Oh, but right, you have the bees. Okay, crap. Actually, I don't know if the bees hear the root beer belches. But either way, if you get encased with the bees, they'll go towards you. Yeah, you do the Winnie the Pooh thing going into the water, but the case is they will still catch you. Or they can if you're not careful. In this case, you gotta see, okay, that's where it is. So it's more likely that I have to go south. Alright, there's a present. Okay, do I have enough as far as my inventory? I'm actually being very careful as far as what I want to do on presents. Because you do have to open them for the purpose of getting your promotion going. It's not necessarily the only thing that does it. And this is your top walking speed, although given the way that these levels are designed, it's not too bad. It's not a case of like, oh god, I wish I could run faster. I mean, but you can run faster. In fact, I'll show that. You have bonus high tops. Hit A button. Hold the A button, you do running for a period of time, and also you can do leaps when you go off of the side of something. So like, hey, I want to get myself moving faster. Yeah, you can do that, but it will eventually run out. And the perspective of when it runs out is going to be when the shoes start flashing down there. Alright, so beep beep, yeah, get out of my way. Okay, I hear a phone. I do love the way the audio goes of getting a sense of, oh, I can kind of hear that saying, okay, I'm stuffed. If you eat food when you're stuffed, yeah, you don't get anything else to it, it just says I'm stuffed. We got a candy cane, and we got something else as well. Okay. Alright, that actually did help me a lot, because I was able to kind of run away from those hamster balls. But, uh-oh, Cupid's here. Yeah, so I'm not careful, I'm going to get love struck, and I also get careful of that food, because that's moldy bread. I don't want to get that, because I'll lose health. Alright, Santa, do I have anything to kill him? No, nothing I know of, and I don't want to take a risk. Okay. Also, I'm realizing there's not much money lying around, because you can find money lying around. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Or until you know, screw it, let's just go to the next level. As I mentioned, you're never going to get into a case of missing a ship piece in the sense of, you know, not knowing that a level has it. You just have to wait till it says ship piece is here, and you're all good. Okay. But you can go through a lot of levels here and like, wait a second, there's no ship piece anywhere. Okay. I just want to make sure everything is working as far as this. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know what happened as far as like the tech things I was seeing on my end. I mean, maybe I'll edit in from some of the videos I took or the recordings. You're wondering like, why are there like 3 of these on Twitch? That's why. Though after tonight's show, there'll only be the one that's the good one. That's this show right here. So far, having a good time with this one. Yeah, I do want to sneak away from the doctor because yeah, he goes crazy. Uh-oh, but there's Cupid again. Okay, I think I should start opening presents. Yeah, start your pause, by the way. Let's open this. Oh, Icarus wings. Okay, that's awesome. Okay. And there is also, oh, I don't have $2. I wish I had $2. Icarus wings let you fly. And there's a really neat place you can go when you use these things. Hit the A button to fly around. But they won't last very long. And there is the elevator already. Jesus Christ, I'm going with this one really quick. I feel like I'm speedrunning this game and I'm not even intending to. Although it's worth pointing out, when I did my practice, I mentioned, I did it on the random mode. And the random mode is way harder because, as per the name, you're not going to know where the items, or as far as the ship pieces when you have levels that have them, or the elevator are. In some cases, there are cases where they're going to be out of range, so you have to get really lucky with the items in order to find them. But finally, we have another ship piece. Okay. And it's worth pointing out also, as you saw there with the way that the Icarus wings ran out, it's not based on how much you use it, it's based on timer. So even if you don't use it at all, it'll still run out. also gotta get a sense of what I have on presents. Okay, map, not much. Okay, there's a doorway, so I could use that, but I think I want to hold this. Also, I just don't want to get randomizer. I really don't want to get that. I don't know what present it is. Maybe it's this one, or hopefully not this one. Okay, good. Yeah, tomatoes. Okay. So yeah, this is where Ready Aim Tomatoes gets its perspective. You throw them with the A button. They can hit enemies. I don't think you can kill them. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. Fuck what I just said. Yes, you can. Yes, if you throw the tomatoes at the enemies, you can kill them. They don't. It doesn't have much of a range. You do get kind of close. Oh. But there's also another weapon you can find, the slingshot, which is kind of like the tomatoes, except they have a further distance. Also, in the sand, it's kind of like quicksand, or it is quicksand, that you sink a little bit and you move slower. Alright, but we have a phone. Oh, no! And also the distance when it comes to the hula girls, that's a problem in some cases. Okay, now I know I can kill them. I'm absolutely going to use that. Alright, since I did hear the phone, it went that way. And I do love the idea that, well, actually, I'm trying to know if the Sega Genesis, I don't know if it actually supported stereo sound, but I guess it must have in the sense that you can kind of hear where it's coming from the left over there. It does get louder as you get closer. Right, there's the elevator, but since there is a ship piece here, I don't want to go in there yet. I mean, and you can skip it, but it's a case that if you do skip it, you have to come back later and say, alright, let's go find it. Yeah, the bees. The bees are always the worst. No, 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 no! Yeah, but so far going alright. And I haven't died yet. Also, you have the... Oh, no, 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 no. It's like... I think it's like a dog or a mole. Oh, shit, right, he can take your present. Shit! Although, maybe that's good. Maybe he took one of the ones that's not going to be good for me. Let's open this one. Oh, right, it's an earthling. Or, it's not an earthling, it's a goddamn, bee. So I guess they're earthlings. It pulls randomly an earthling or an enemy type, as it is. Yeah, that question mark. I'm trying to remember, that might be the randomizer. I'll tell you this also, I will level with you. I do not know what the presents on their surface give you when you're in, standard play mode. But here we go, bacon and eggs. Alright, where are we going? And let's open this one. Okay, good. Alright, that is another buck. Alright, and I got myself a promotion. I'm Poindexter now. Oh, there we go. And you get that nice perspective and got a life. Awesome. Oh, but there's like the shadow dude. Oh no, it's the boogeyman. If he comes by, he can be trouble, so I have to make sure to avoid him. And this is where it's getting harder, because when you go up to the higher levels, you're gonna have more earthlings around that can get in your way. Right, where are we, and where's the ship part? Okay, so there's the elevator. At least I know where that is, but uh-oh. Also, I get the bees out of the way. Woo! Okay, also, yeah, if you're on the edge like that and you're kind of struggling that way, if you don't get out of the way, you'll fall. And if you do fall, you go back to level 5. Okay, there we go. Here's the ship piece. Awesome. Got the left megawatt speed. Awesome. Jamming. Oh shit! You could. Okay, wait. Was that the boogeyman? Yeah, you could kind of see the shadow outline, and I love that. I think that's a great effect, especially for as early in the Sega Genesis life as this is. But the bees are still chasing me. No. The good news is they're not going as fast as anything. But alright, let's see. I use the door to get my way back, but I don't want to do that either. Let's open this. Oh, whoa, shit! Rocket shears. Okay, that was a bad case. Alright, so I fell down. Wait a second. Okay, good. Oh, money. Okay, fantastic. Let me down. Alright, that was a good present, but one I didn't want right away. Okay, there you go. So there's the rocket shears. Whoa, not bad. Whoa, shit. Candy cane. Okay, just moving left to right. Oh, shit. Okay. So, alright, that was not too bad, actually. Also, if you have an item called the Unfall, which I don't know if I have on my person. I do have money to identify if I can find Carrot Man again. it will take you back to the last level. And there's also one called Friendship, I think is what it's called. Oh, Togetherness, if you're playing in 2-player. Because they do have some items that will split that around, and that's also how they handle the split screen perspective. We'll show that in a little bit. Okay, so I did fall down, so I do have to go my way back, but since I do know where the elevator is on level 6, but also on level 5 here, I can just beeline it there. Okay, so that was a good present I got, except... Oh, wait a minute, am I stuck here? Okay, no, I don't think so. Actually, when you're going in random mode, you can get in cases where you're on islands where you might be stuck without a specific item. So in that case, you'll have to fall down to the previous area, but you also fall down to the same location in the previous area where you were, which in this case was a benefit because I found money. But sometimes you might have to go around just to get where you need to go. Okay, so let's see. Alright, now I have my points, that's 118, and it's worth pointing out, the promotion stuff, that does go on the points as well. Okay. Alright. I make them want to la, so let's walk down the street. I do love that idea, the look of, like, hey, aliens just walking down the street, and this weird idea of what is Earth looking like when it comes to this game, but it also is part of the fun. As I said, even with the case that this is something you're kind of just searching these areas, I can't think of many other games that are like this, that are not part of the series. And even the next game in this franchise, it doesn't play like this. The next one's a straight platforming game. But it does have some unique aspects to it, and that's one where... I don't remember if this is on the Dibs list, the Gemini 96 gave me, but he knows Panic on Funkatron, the next game in the series. He might want in on that one. As far as AJ42's case on this one, he did want me to do this in particular for him. And I have also said to him, like, hey, do you want to be on the show? And he was on the show when we did Parasite Eve, the second part. Because I don't know, I don't know if I necessarily would have a whole lot to talk about or if I'd kind of go into it. Well, fair enough. I mean, if that's the case, you don't want to. I'm not going to force you. But also, even just as far as that show, like, I know he's got a lot of stuff on his mind, and he also gave me a lot of stuff. What I was doing practice on this one. Alright, there is, you. Got a buck? Yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, we have the Handel Chorus of Hallelujah, where you do that. That is, by the way, a health recovery if you talk to her. Or him, the wizard. Yeah. Okay, it's not bad as far as this, except, yeah, I'm just getting stuck. I was like, yeah, I don't want to get stuck. Okay, but here's the elevator, so we can go on now. But also, the case, as I was saying, go back to AG42, the case that he had a lot of things going on as far as this game. It was interesting just hearing his and really anybody's background when it comes to games like this. I've said this before, and that way this is also a great game to talk over, really, because we're walking around, getting the presents and all that stuff. But a lot of cases where it makes it so that you can kind of go off on these elements himself. But it was interesting kind of hearing his experience, like, because he knew pretty much every part of this game without having played it in years. And he was a Genesis boy, as it is just the same way I was. It was the kind of thing I kept asking, was like, wait, who's this? What's that? What do these do? Like, and he had the answers right away. So clearly this is something I know that I did ask still. I said, what's your experience? And he basically said, yeah, I grew up with this game. Yuck. Slimy fungus. But a case that it clearly did make an impact on him, and also, I guess, then maybe inspired his interest in, like, roguelike games to an extent. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, I can't afford anything, but in that case, I'll hold this. If I can find Carrot Man, I want to have other stuff identified. And also, I want to my presents. I was gonna say, do I have presents? Okay, I do have... No, I don't. Fuck, let's open this one. Jammin', super high tops. Alright, so I can run my way out. I would say, I think from what I understand, I think AG42 has played some roguelike games. I think he played some of Blizzard's, like Diablo and things like that. I know it's more of an Emetics jam as far as Diablo is concerned, and also Path of Exile. Yes, Path of Exile. But, oh shit, the tornado comes to town, and there's money. And burger. But, yeah, in that case, I can kind of get that sense of, like, why he would have went for that, and also a case of an early look at a genre, one that you might not expect. Oh, Santa. Oh, can I kill him with something? Yes, tomatoes. Yeah, hit A. Stop it! Because he ran away, I wasn't able to kill him in time. So we'll drop presents if I can get rid of him quick. Whoa, uh-oh, shit. I don't think you die when you're in this... Okay, I'm trying to see. Okay, no, you don't die. It's just that when you sink down in the sand like that, you move slow. Okay. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Okay, now this is the bad case. Oh shit, I got love struck. Oh right, and that reverses your controls. Actually, okay, it doesn't reverse your controls, it mixes up your controls. I'm pressing up on the D-pad, I'm going right. If I go down, I go left. If you're able to adjust where you're going and what the controls are going for that, you'll be good. Oh no! The tornado, crap! Yeah, if you get caught in that, you're gonna thrown for a loop, and I don't want to have that happen. To the point where I think I'm gonna use my bonus high top. Here we go. Yeah, run away from the tornadoes. Yeah, if the tornadoes come to town, get your shoes on and get moving. Uh-oh. Shit, there's the dog. Oh, crap, no! Oh, that was lucky. Jesus Christ. Yeah, because when you run off the side of a ledge when you're doing the high tops, you'll do a jump. You can't control it. Since I just hit right before the edge, I was able to be okay. Awesome. Where is it? Like, there is this island. Let's see what's around here. Oh shit, I did screen capture. Okay, that's what it looks like on Switch 2, by the way. Because it does look a little different. Alright, where is... Yeah, because since I'm using the Sega Genesis controller, on the top left of it, you do have that capture button. It's also, as I mentioned, one of the only Switch controllers, like the classic ones, that has a home button on it. The other one being the Nintendo 64 controller. And I don't remember that a GameCube controller that came out for this does. I'll add it down below saying does it or does it not. Right, where are we going? 'Cause yeah, there's nothing here. Actually, do I have presents I can use? Okay, that's something there. Please let it not be randomizer. Okay, good. Wow, Fudge Sundae. Oh, perfect. Fudge Sundae is great food. It does, I believe, a full health recovery. Not that I'm necessarily needing it right now. I'm actually doing really good on this. And I'll tell you, because I practiced this for random, I thought, am I going to be set for this going linearly? But I think the answer is yes. I guess maybe going that way, that's the hard one. Which I will show off as far as reflection, if nothing else. And I am having a good time playing this, and also, yeah, feeling good. Is it, going back to what I mentioned, I said, yeah, I've been kind of in a case where I've been feeling sick recently. Yeah, you can tell in a little bit. But also a case where it seems like it comes in fits and spurts. So I've been taking care of myself. Everything seems alright as far as what it is. I've checked with my doctors. Everything seems like that's alright. But also a case where I am feeling good enough tonight to do the show. I mean, admittedly, sometimes it's a case where I was feeling fatigued enough saying, oh shit, can I actually do this? And if it was a case where it was really bad, I would probably come on live and I'd say, oh, by the way, I can't do this. I'll be back next week or something. I'll let you know. Here you go. Thank God. We can do identification. Yes. Let's identify this one. Rosebush. And also, let's pick up the phone. Okay. Alright, I'll show the bad food as well. Yeah, you go. Ick. Moldy cheese. Yeah, you don't want to eat that. Either in real life or in this game. Those are the hula dances. I'm seeing a lot of those hula dances. The good news also is you do stop dead in your tracks. So it's not a case you're gonna fall off or something like that because of it. There you go, not bad. Some watermelon. Yeah, good for late summer casing itself, and also in some ways this is kind of a great summer game. Well, personally, this being indicated as a really good game for spring, which I can see that as well. All right, we hit the elevator. We can go up. Alrighty, so next, I guess we'll see if we get another ship part. I mean, there's only 10 ship parts, admittedly. And I feel like I'm blazing through this. But as I said, I've got more stuff I can show with this. And we'll go the whole way. Alright, rose bushes, I don't necessarily need to worry about that. Oh, cameraman, do I have enough money? Okay, he didn't start. Okay, I do have enough money, good. Yes, let's identify... How about this one? Inner tube. Okay, the inner tube, when you go in the water, you can use that. I will show that. And I think also when you're in the water, you will not drown, I think. Like, he didn't start, so let's open the inner tube. Here we go. Yeah, we have the inner tube, you have the nice toy, I guess, rubber ducky or whatever it is. The inflatable thing. And you swim around the water, no problem. Shut up! Okay, so yeah, we have a shopper, like a woman with glasses shopping around with her baby, but her baby's, you know, being loud and crying. Yeah, shut up, kid. Like, yeah, maybe don't take your kid to the store or something like that, you know? And in the case of, hey, you know, do you go over and, like, talk to the woman, say, like, yeah, don't talk to your kid like that. He's like, well, don't talk to me about, you know, raising my children. Do you have children of your own? I was like, no, I don't. Actually, there's an episode of, I mentioned the show before, and I mentioned this when we played Mega Man Legends 2, Bob and Margaret, which is that animated series from the UK, where they have an episode where they go to the supermarket. Oh shit, nerds! That's the idea, they run my ass over. Yeah, they're going to the anime convention or something like, well, fine. I'm the same way. I'm not one to fucking talk about. I'm one to fucking talk on that because, yeah, that's the idea. But I was gonna say, there's an episode on that show, that series, Bob and Margaret, where they go to the supermarket. And they go through all these weird adventures. They find a woman who's saying, hey, you know, she hits her son in public, and Margaret, the wife, she's like, yeah, I want to go talk to her, tell her, like, stop doing that to your child. It's like, do you have children? It's like, no, I don't. It's like, well, look at you. You're coming over here saying you love to tell people how to raise their children. It's like having them without the expense. You get to keep a precious career. And they get into this weird discussion about what is their background of, you know, what they do for work. And getting ideas like, hey, you know, because Bob's a dentist saying, like, don't tell me you don't ever, bleed, your gums never bleed when you brush. It's like, well, sometimes they do. And then you see on, like, the security cameras, it's like, let's get the conflict resolution officer in here to do this. I'll see if I can't find a link as far as this. I think most of the episodes are on YouTube, so I think you can find that one. But here's the idea, the conflict resolution officer comes in and saying, well, I'm gonna psychoanalyze him, and then they're saying, this is exactly what we're saying. Like, for God's sake, let me do my job. It's really, really funny. But, ow, shit. And there's not a game based on it. If there was, I would show it. I mean, as we learned last week, there's a game based on Mean Girls. One that came out, and then one that didn't, which was on DS. We couldn't make that one if we tried. Oh, shit, I do not want to eat that. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have our fun Sunday. Okay, it's not a full health recovery, but it does covers a lot of health. Alright, now where is the door? Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, I guess it is a dog. Oh, but there's a tornado. Shit, and it's a lot of sand. Fine, we're using the super high tops here. I'll sort of run away from all this stuff. Uh-oh. Alright, where is everything? Also, to point out, it is worth putting up the map every so often because... Wait, how much money do I have? I keep hitting start. No. Okay, never mind. Okay, I think I want to go that way because it's worth pointing out... Yeah, when you have the run on the shoes, you can run across the sand without sinking into it. Oh, there we go. We're peanuts. Oh, and ducks with cannons that shoot out tomatoes, so gotta avoid them. Yeah, weird, but yeah, I'm not gonna question it. Yeah, I was gonna say, when you look at the map, it goes based on squares, so sometimes if you're kind of in the area, you can hit that and check it every so often to see, oh yeah, there we go, and maybe find where you're going. Let's see. Yeah, I need to get my way out of the way of that dog. I don't want my present stolen. So I guess the dog is so cute with like the, I guess the miner helmet, so he doesn't know what he's doing. Uh-oh. I said that would be me as far as stuff like that, but yeah, it does hurt when they run you over. This game is playing with some perspectives, I guess, of, let's eat the fudge sundae. I was gonna get my ass run over. Well, fine, let's go in the water. I was gonna say, you do have a delay when you go in the water, so get up. Fine, let's drink root beer. Okay, it doesn't help me much. Shit, no, get in the water. They won't follow me in the water. In this case, having the noise is not gonna be a problem. Oh shit, no. Like, yeah, what'd I do wrong? Oh shit, yeah, okay, I died. You do run out of health, you die, and then your angel goes up to heaven. Okay. You do come back right away, and you have a full health recovery. Yeah, just get out of the way. I know it's taking a risk getting in the water, but I knew I had to. But say, yeah, what did I ever do to the nerds? I'm one of you. Or maybe they don't like this game. Maybe they're the snooty kind who say, like, yeah, I think this game is annoying. I mean, actually, I don't know. I mean, because I guess it's one of those things with this game. I mean, I know people who played it, but I don't know necessarily what their reaction to it. I mean, shit. Uh-oh. I guess it goes to the idea that this franchise does, I guess, go into, I guess, exaggerations of, I guess, archetypes a little bit, of which the third game I know goes into it the most, to the point where, it's, oh, let me see, okay, I don't have enough money. With that third one, you could argue it's racist. I don't know if I would necessarily say that about that one. I mean, we have a Sega game we're playing in a few months, or cheering to a few months, which had that accusation tossed to it as well, and I think that one I think is a little more pernicious with it. That Shadow the Hedgehog. ToeJam Earl 3, that I don't know, and also it's worth pointing out when I have that up, I'll be safe. Schoolbook. Okay, I will use that when I'm in a safe distance. Also, it's worth pointing out, if you do go on the menu here, you hit the C button, you can drop presents. You're like, oh, I don't want this, I can drop it. So actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to find a place where it's safe. And we are gonna use the school book. What you do when you hit this is just sit down and read the book. And then you fall asleep. So you have to mash the buttons in order to wake yourself up. So there's really not much point to use it, but if you use it like this, because you're opening presents, it increases your points. So if nothing else, you can get yourself going when you're in a safe spot. Just don't use that when you're around enemies. But the idea is that if you're opening presents willy-nilly, which I tend to do as far as playing this game, I guess I'm figuring, no, don't do that. We'll be set, okay. Or if you do that like I do, you could be in trouble. Oh, there you go. Phone. Right, there's the elevator, but... Yeah, dude, that gets screw the phone. We're gonna just go in here. Okay. We should get a chip piece coming soon. Yeah, level 9. Also, by the way, if you hit the map, hit the C button, then hit the B button, you go as far as your ship pieces. No pieces on ToeJam's level. Okay, so yeah, nothing here. There's some more money. There's also cake and there's fries. So I kind of hold those off. Because yeah, you don't have to pick up the items if you don't want to. If I can get to a case later where I need them, I can just come back and say, oh yeah, here's the fries and cake. Uh-oh. Also, yeah, where are they shopping for? There's nothing around here. I guess that kind of, it is the kind of whimsical and I guess absurdist element that I do find very appealing about this game. Also, where's the phone? I hear it. Alright, it's over to the left, I think. Whoa! Wait, is it? Wait, it just stopped. Wait a second, why did it stop? Because I know it stops when you're out of distance, but that was the same place I was when I first heard it go off. It's not like it, what was it? That it doesn't just spawn, as far as I know. Alright, but there's Dad mowing the lawn. with cigarette, or it's cigar, I should say, not cigarette. Yeah, there's a difference. Anybody who's knowing about cigars and cigarettes, yeah, you don't make that mistake in front of them. Okay, awesome. Where's the phone? I heard phone. I went over here and heard it. Are they limited on time? I don't think so. I mean, we'll see. Let's go on. I didn't. If it's actually doing that, I'm not aware that it did that. Just keep going and find where the door is, or find the elevator. Because I have doorway. I can use doorway if I want to. What about this way? All right. There's a case of mail order. That's. Did I identify that? All right. That's the Earthlink. So I did identify that. So actually, in that case, I can show you how the drop works. Hit C button when you're on this menu. Hit B. Hit. All right. Hit C and then hit A. There you go. So oh shit! Yeah, you get the fake mailbox. So yeah, don't hit him. I do love that it kind of tosses you off guard. Uh oh. Shit, I'm trapped here. Okay, I have 2 doors. You know, let's use one. Hi. Where'd it take me? Get back here. That's fine. It got me out of the way of that killer mailbox. Yeah, again, the case you wouldn't expect to say that in a sentence. But for a game like this, it feels totally natural. Going all right. Okay, yeah, there he is again with the lawnmower. Oh yeah, the Valkyrie woman. And it's worth pointing out, this is also a game that uses the GEM's audio driver. You're probably hearing for some of the sound effects. It has that sound about itself. This is definitely one of the best GEM's audio games I can think of as far as Genesis. Because I always sometimes talk that saying, and I guess going to the nerdy perspective, or also maybe the snooty perspective when it comes to Genesis, the thought that were games that used this audio driver, were they necessarily lesser because of that? Because it was a case where it had this sound to it you could tell. Or that it seemed like maybe it's not using the tech as well as you'd expect. But with good programming, I think they showed that a lot of developers, a lot of musicians on Genesis showed that they make stuff that sounds really, really good. I mean, we played a lot of stuff shiny. We played Aladdin. Aladdin's one that used it. That sounds great. We played Desert Demolition. That uses it. That sounds really good. And this one definitely is a great one. Or Eternal Champions. Eternal Champions is another game that really captures a great atmosphere. Same with this game. For this kind of game, with this kind of funky bass and percussion sound. Ow. Yeah, this is perfect. Alright, I have covered so much of this map. Alright, let's get some fries. Alright, so we gotta go this way. Yeah, a lot of... And also, the fact this game is holding frame rate fine. So with a lot of stuff as far as a lot of Earthlings or enemies on screen, it's not going to be a case where the game is chugging, which is great. And that's despite the fact that I think this is like a 30 frame per second case. This is not something that's 60 the way that sometimes you have on this system. Uh-oh. But for some reason, they pace it well. So it doesn't necessarily feel like, oh yeah, it's choppy. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the elevator. Thank God. Let's also eat this because if nothing else, yeah, I'll be stuffed with a cake, and then we'll also be getting more points. Awesome. So that's level 9, but we do need to get more ship pieces. We'll get them. Okay, so next up, I think there is a piece on level 10. Yeah, there is. Okay, good. Yeah, but there's also a tornado right at the start. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got. Okay, I have rose bushes. I can show what rose bushes are. Let's open this. Okay, rose bushes are, you press the A button, they drop those down. If you walk into them, you get yourself hurt. But you also use them to block earthlings or something. You only put one of them down at a time. And okay, then I guess then... You know what? I want to see something then. I'm right here. Does it just disappear if I don't answer it? I want to put that to the test, because I don't know. Oh, it does. Okay, there you go. So never mind. Alright, so if you don't get to the... So I learned something new. If you don't get to the phone before it stops ringing, it just goes away. Whoa. Oh no. I was like, yeah. Yeah, the tornado dissipated into the water, thank God. Alright, so if you don't get to the phone in time, it will just disappear. So, alright, when you hear the noise, go and search for it. And pick it up, because then it'll reveal parts of the map. Alright. Actually, I don't know if HA42... I mean, he probably knows that. He knows pretty much everything about this game that I can think of. And anytime I had a question, he knew right away exactly what it was. So, probably was aware of that. But that's the other interesting thing about this game. There's a lot of interesting elements to itself that are things that you could be playing this game probably your whole life and never find. Or you do play it like crazy and you're like, oh yeah, I know this. Okay, so yeah, there is a lot of water here. I don't know if this is a good case to use rocket skates. What about this? Oh, thank God. Promotion. Dude. Alright, so we're a dude now. So actually, we're doing alright. Yeah, so dude. Yeah, we're doing alright. Oh shit, no more on the tornado. Every time I saw that on the test. Yeah, I'm doing good not getting hit by him, but I still don't want it, because I'll be thrown off. Alright, so nothing here. I mean, I could use the Icarus swing. I do have those. Yeah, let's use them. So in that case, I can just fly right over here. Awesome. Alright, so yeah, I think that was some cereal. Alright. Where is... Yeah, this is a big map. You're seeing this. But of course, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, yeah, Jaws is here. I guess a shark of some sort. I don't think there might be islands out there where it's gonna be, but, well, I don't know. Let's see if we can find something. No! Okay, that's fine. Oh, no. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Yeah, otherwise you hear the case of the shark going. Do-do-do. Alright, so yes. Where... Okay, it might be somewhere in the middle there. And just for pointing out, I have not played through this entire game linearly, so I don't completely know where everything is, although I guess that's a good thing, because in that case, it is still going to be about exploring, and also, well, that's what the way the game is, but also not that I necessarily have all the answers on this. In this case, just go on the shore. Yeah, there's a couple of sharks over there. Yeah, have fun, guys. Oh no, but there's a tornado. And more sharks. Yeah, they keep upping the ante here with more cases of O. Big presents I can use to get out here. Oh, free promotion. Using that. Boom. We're bro. Okay, there you go. Thank God I found that. Perfect. So yeah, Crusader64 said to me when we did Man of Medan, we found Jolly Jack. He said, "Come the fuck on, bro." I was like, yeah, fine. Now it actually is accurate to state. Okay, is that safe? Okay, it's safe. Yeah? Oh shit, it's not safe. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it took all my health almost completely. Crap. But you're also seeing when you get promotions, you do get a higher health bar. Not that it helped there, because I died in like a series of hits, and you do not have recovery time. So if you're hit by something like that, you're gonna be in trouble. Uh-oh. Do I have bonus high tops? Yes, I do. Oh shit, no! Oh, well, I revealed that. Oh. Oh, crap. Well, there's a free present. It's on an island that I can't get to, so... Or I can't get off of. Do I have a... Okay, I'm over here. Can I get a doorway or something? Let's see. I mean, I could use my doorway. Yeah, let's use it. Oh, shit! Okay, I never had it over water, or not over water, over, a pit before. Okay. Thank God I was able to walk over that. I thought, oh shit, I was done. Yeah, I wish I didn't unfall, because if I did, I would go right back up. Alright, I have this. I can keep running. Although I think this is gonna run out by the time I get back up there. Or, well, we'll see, because I did see on my test when I was doing an audio check today. I did see that one item we haven't seen yet, the rain cloud. You can actually get rid of that by going in the elevator, because after enough time, it'll go away. I guess we'll see if we find it. I guess I'll also try and see if I can't find every present. Even if it's a case where it's going to be bad for me. Okay, there you go. So it's still in sort of good shape. Okay, so at least I was able to get out of the way quick enough. Oh yeah, you do that beep beep, so it is kind of like Desert Demolition that we played a few weeks ago. How about this one? Oh right, this is the springy shoes. Is that what they call them? Oh, the spring shoes. Not springy shoes, just spring shoes. You hit the A button, you do a bounce. Yeah, in that case, it does reflect just how playful this is. Yeah, even though they're on Earth, they're like, yeah, what are these things? They might not know necessarily what springy shoes are. But I think ToeJam and Earl, they do like the idea of this and think, ooh, this is fun. And they can be very useful. Or anything here? Maybe over here. Uh-oh. Ugh. Oh no, I don't want to. No! Crap, get me out. Ah. Oh no, I'm going back down, aren't I? Ugh, stop! Okay, I can still find, Okay, I just gotta wait. Crap. Uh-oh. Crap. Alright, so yeah, I fell down again. Right, so they really don't want me to find that there. Let's see what else I got. Okay, those are super high tops. What about this thing? Uh-oh. Oh, tomato rain. Okay, not too bad, but you do have to walk out of the area, because what happens is the tomatoes are going to fall down, and if they hit you, they hurt. I heard uh-oh, I thought it was something else, because there is a... Going back to the tarot cards, we have Shadow Heart's Covenant. There is the one that's an instant death. Thank God I haven't pulled it yet. Alright, so yeah, the kid's saying, yeah, where are all these tomatoes coming down? Saying, shut up, kid. Alright, we are going alright. Alright, there's a present back there, so yeah, it was behind the door. Or elevator, I should say. Also, before I fell off, did it give me a hint on the map where the ship piece could be? Because it's here. No, it didn't. Alright, so I have rocket skates, and I have this is the only thing I haven't identified. Do I want to take a risk and identify it myself? Yes. Oh, that's the unfall, okay. And this is what pointing out, since I did identify it, it means that I'm not gonna... I mean, if I pick that present up again, as far as that same shape with the vent, I will know what it is instantly. So let me get the super high top. Perfect. Go, go, go. Yeah, just run. Oh, perfect. There it is. Finally, I got another ship piece. Feels it's been forever since we got one. We got the Super Funkomatic Amplimator. So yeah, let's just, I guess, is there radar? Not sure. Okay, so now let's get our way out. Alright, so 7 left. Okay, so where is the way out? I've covered so much of this damn map. Do I have another doorway? No, I don't. But the good news is I know what everything is, so I'm not going to be shell-shocked if I open up a present and realize, wait, it's going to hurt me. I just need to get my ass out of here. Just to find where the elevator is. And avoid the tornadoes. Though in this case... Yeah, maybe the... Unless it's over there on the left. The rocket shoes may be useful. Although I'm not going to use it yet. Because it's too tight over here. And I'm trying to remember if the rocket shoes you can go over, water. Well, I guess we're gonna put it to the test now, because there's nothing over here. Oh, phone. Yeah, I definitely want this now. Oh, it is on that island. So, okay, fantastic. Good thing I got that, because it does tell me where we gotta go. How much money do I have? $2. Yeah, I don't need health recovery. I need to identify presents when I pick up more. So I'll hold that money. Alright, I just gotta see also, can I swim over there? Oh, no. That's right, I was gonna look at the rocket skates. Can I use those across the water? Yes. Actually, can I go in the, elevator door from here? Maybe? Let me go. Oh, no, I guess not. Ooh. Okay, but I did get to the island, so there we go. Fantastic. Okay, though, I can, yeah, just gotta be careful going out here. We'll point out, if I don't walk out the elevator, I'll be okay. Okay, good. Oh no, there's a cool dancer by that money. Oh no, I'm trapped. So that's a dead end. Okay, so I want the money. I want that money, I want the other money. Alright, Buck. Okay, he's over there. Maybe he won't go this way. Money. There, money. I'll take the nice pizza. Let's get going. Alright, so... yeah, no ship piece here. So I just need to find my way out. There's Santa again, but I don't have anything to get rid of him with anyway. But I do need to find some presents. Alright, there's super high top, so we're good on that. Alright, there's something I don't know if I identified. Oh no! Oh, this area is pretty open and wide, so if nothing else, I can at least get myself going and more money. So actually, there's a lot of money in this level. Money. Alright, what do we have? Actually, most stuff that's been identified. Except that, so I don't know what that is. Actually, we get pretty good luck on the presents, I'll say that. Nothing that's been really devastating to me. Or the ones that I know can be a problem, I know to be out of the way when I use them. Whoa! Also, that's one thing I'm realizing. I guess my commentators could be going like, whoa. But because this game can be very surprising in terms of what you see and what's going on. Perfect, here we go. Here's Carrot Man. Let's talk to you. And he's also in the third game, because the third game does play a lot like this one. Okay, we got $2. Let's identify... well, the only one I need to identify, that's this one. Oh, I do not want that. Total bummer. That's the one that automatically kills you. Thank God I didn't open that. So let me drop that. Yeah, that is the present. If you open that, that's an instant death. Do not open that. Thank God I identified that one. Okay. Yes, because that's, yeah. There are presents that can hurt you really bad. Although it's worth pointing out, if you do get Total Bummer, there is a way to survive it. And, if I did have something to survive it, I would show it. And what that is when you get Total Bummer, it instantly drains your health and you go down to 0 and you die. But if you have an item in your, or if you have a present on yourself that gives you health recovery, like a fudge sundae or root beer or something like that, and you go back into the present menu before you die and have it, you'll live. So there is a way to mitigate it, but I do not have a way to do that. So in this case, yeah, just identify it, get my life saved, thank God, and then just go on. Yeah, Total Bomber is the worst present of the game for that very reason. Oh, okay, that one and Randomizer, which thankfully we have not seen, because what Randomizer is going to do, whenever we do see it, is you open that, it randomizes all your presents, so any presents that you've already identified will have to be identified again, and the present graphics that go along with it will change. So in this case, based on how this goes, I know that purple bag is the super high tops. Randomize will change that to be something else, so it could be like rocket skates, it could be rose bushes, or anything else, or it could be a total bumper. But there is a present here. Or no, not, well, there are presents here. There are presents on every level, but there's chip piece. And following the road is not necessarily a guarantee to where the present's gonna be. Oh shit, no! Yeah, I had to get too fancy doing that. Though that, yeah, where did that drop me? Oh, I gotta go back all the way over there again. Crap. Where is the shortest way to go? Wait, can I go there? Oh, no, I can't, because there's... Well, okay, I could make the jump with the shoes, but I don't want to take that risk. Wait, is that the Total Bummer? Yeah, I think... Oh, no, it was. Actually, wait a second. Did he... I'm gonna pick this up again. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so get rid of that. So yeah, I guess Carrot Man's gone. I guess Carrot Man goes when we leave. Alright. Okay, cool. Oh, money. So alright, it wasn't completely a wasted trip coming back down here. I mean, if that's the worst that's happened to me as far as this play, I'm okay with that. Because I will say, as I'm dancing in front of the door, I wasn't sure necessarily would I be able to pull this out despite the fact that I've been practicing as much. Yeah, it's going to be next week's case because we're starting Medieval next week. And I don't know if I'm necessarily 100% ready for that one. But having said that, I think we'll be fine. Okay, so back on level 12, let's see. Okay, do I still have the other high tops? Yeah, I do have one of them. Let's use it. That is the one that's most useful because of the way it increases your movement speed. Uh-oh. Phone. Fantastic. Alright, well, there's the elevator. Oh, actually, wait. That's the elevator. So I found that real quick. Oh, no! Well, they took... What did he take? Oh, he took the rose bushes. I'm okay with that. Because I don't know if I necessarily find the rose bushes that useful, but the idea is that I can still block enemies with that. Alright, where is the ship piece? Because, yeah, I just need to find that now. Yeah, sometimes you can get lucky finding one of those things or the other one quick. I'm trying to remember if that's the randomizer. I'm not opening that. Not until I find a Carrot Man. Alright, there's the ship piece. Fantastic. Alright, so we got the Amplimator connector film. So there you go. We have our nice case as far as air and wind resistance. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, I'll just make her walk back to the door. Oh, actually, let me look at something. Okay, so yeah, that... I want to look at that, because it's like... That blue dot there. Oh, uh-oh. They're sleeping. Let's sneak out of the way. So I'll see what that blue dot on the screen is. Yeah, because if I'm quiet, I can avoid getting myself hurt. Okay, so I guess the blue dot... I guess it's nothing. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, that is... Actually, no, I have the name of all the enemies here. So let's, I'll walk... Oh, it's right in front of the damn elevator. Ugh. Oh no. Stop. Alright, so... Actually, maybe I didn't take down the name of the doggy. Yeah, because actually it wasn't it's not the doctor as far as the thing walking around. The thing I said was a doctor. He's the insane dentist. It was a hamster rollerball. There was Cupid, the boogeyman, the nerd herd, which is all over there. It's mall. Okay, it's a mall. Never mind, it's not a dog. So yeah, that's a mall, not a dog. But you could have fooled me when it comes up. Okay, that's mail order. Stay here. Oh no. Where's my... I'm not opening that. Oh, there we go. Use the rocket skates to get my way out. Okay, perfect. Oh no! Woo! Shit, no! I also point out when you do the turn, you only turn in 4 directions, so it's not like the rest of the game you can move in all 8. Where is it going? Where's that phone? Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it in time. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get there. Okay, and I don't think... We'll see. I don't think I have to use like an Icarus swing or something to get off of here. That sometimes might happen if it's randomly generated, but I don't think here. In fact, no, it's not. We're gonna go across this. No, okay, no. I was gonna say I'm gonna go get the candy cane, but no, I don't need it that bad. Okay. Alright, here's another one. What was this again? That was the root beer. Alright, I'm willing to take the risk right now. In this case, they're just running around, so them being me being detected by them is not going to be that much of a problem. These, by the way, are chickens with mortars. Ouch. Okay. And the good news is I am letting the bird being fitted myself with the root beer wear off as far as that before going further, getting in more danger. Yeah, mostly the chickens here. So alright, that's actually pretty good. Because I don't think the chickens are necessarily that deadly, because even from normal walking speed, you can usually avoid their shots without too much of a problem. And they don't tend to want to run over you. Ouch! Alright, let's take some fries. Also, let's see, was there a present here? No. Yeah, at this point I do want to get some health. Okay, maybe over here. Alright, fantastic. Okay, so yeah, that's good. And that's always, I think, the interesting thing about this game. The idea of how it handles exploration. And also how it kind of gets you in that mentality of saying, let me take a look over here. Maybe there's something over here, and sometimes it can get you to where you need to go. Alrighty, so next. Alright, level 14. Yeah, because you can go through this game pretty quick. I was also questioning that. I was like, how long is this game really going to take to run? Oh shit, there's Boogeyman. Like that oogie boogie boogie boogie. And he does hide as far as the distance. Yeah, first I was saying, how long is this game going to really be? But when I actually looked as far as the time for my play, for the practice, I realized I practiced like 3 hours. That's not as long as I thought. And I did it with the random mode. You'd have thought that I would have been taking way longer to play than that. Because of course, because this is a viewer request, I always will practice those games as much as I can to make sure we're going to be ready enough. Although next week's will be a little different because, yeah, I did practice Medieval. But also a case where I know we're actually going to come back to it. We're skipping a month for that one. Okay, that actually revealed a lot. It's heavily water-based. Do I have an inner tube? Oh no, I think I dropped it. And there's a shark anyway. Yeah, because we are going to play that next week, but also something that I've been practicing a bit, but I also know that it's going to be the rare cases we're going to be skipping some time before we get back to that game. Because we have to start a Halloween block next week, as it turns out, based on how the schedule's going to go. Right, there's the super high tops. At least I know now, like, that's it. Let's have the fudge sundae. And then, awesome. So yeah, we're definitely getting stuff crammed in, and also cases where I've got tons of viewer requests going on this month. Wow, there's Fudge Sunday. Yeah, because you find the Fudge Sundays on the ground. Well, oh shit, him again. And the Boogeyman hurts bad. You saw I took about a fourth of my health away. Do I have anything to kill him with? Yes, I do. Tomatoes. Let's get stop my... Do I want to kill him that bad? Oh shit, I didn't. Okay, I didn't. Oh, I did, maybe. Ow. I also used my spring shoes. So that overrode it. That was a problem. I see the shadow. He's over there as far as the Boogeyman. Yeah, you gotta be careful of the Boogeyman. It's also an interesting thing. I don't know if I actually ever was able to find anything about this. In fact, I didn't see anything this way. The idea, like, what was the pitch meeting like this from Sega, or to Sega, saying, we got this weird game that we're going to be walking around as far as the two aliens. We're going after roguelike games, this game from Epics from the 80s. In case we were picking up spring shoes, seeing the Boogeyman, and having, like, hamsters in hamster wheels running you over. Or hamster balls, I should say, running you over. Alright, we're a homie now. And actually, how much money do I have? A lot. So, yes. There, I'm gonna pay her. You know, there's only $1. I'm gonna pay her a couple times. Can I? There we go. But something where when you play it, it does make sense. So it's interesting this, because as I said, they wanted something that was easy to understand as far as kind of jumping into this. But then something that, when I was younger, I didn't really get much of a grasp of it because it was so different from everything else. Now coming back to play it, I'm like, yeah, it does kind of make sense. It is something that has this kind of nice feel to itself. And I get why this created or this carved out a niche. And it is something that fits in very well as far as, I guess, what Sega really was doing in the 90s. They were going for that attitude case the same way Sonic the Hedgehog was as far as that. Or more accurately, the US side of Sega was saying that attitude of Sonic is something that's going to be something that can differentiate us against Nintendo. And they were right. So yeah, as I mentioned, when you really think about what Sega was doing, because that's the interesting thing about Sega when it comes to their trajectory as a company, because it seems like in the days of the SG-1000 and the Sega Master System, and early in the Genesis life when it launched, 1989, they were basically saying, we want to bring the arcade experience home. Not that Sega ever stopped doing that. Even nowadays, they haven't stopped doing that. But when Sonic the Hedgehog came around, and some of these more original properties for the home, or even when they did Castle of Illusion, saying, we can have this stuff that you don't get on some of the other systems, especially not Nintendo. They went full force after Nintendo. Oh, shit. But then with this one, it does kind of go with that style of what Sega really wanted to do, with attitude. Where is... either the elevator or a way out or something. Okay, there's the elevator. Perfect. Can I get over there in time without drowning? Yeah. Oh, shit. Awesome. Okay, we made it. Thank God. Alright, so there's a ship piece here at least. Level 15. But a hula dancer, so we gotta do something about that. Or walk away across. In fact, I don't think you can kill her. And also, why we want her? She's not doing anything wrong. Alright, I do want to see if I can identify these. Okay, we're almost halfway done. Yeah, we're almost halfway done as far as the ship pieces, I should say. Although, actually, based on level, we're well over halfway done. Alright, there's something. Did we identify that? Yeah, the inner tube. Actually, I could have used that in the last level, but either way. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, there's the elevator. Sorry, we can go out. When we're done, we gotta find where the ship piece is. So what do I have on presents? Anything I can really use? No, not really. Oh shit! I should have snuck past them. I don't know if they're gonna go back to sleep. Yeah, what was that? Yeah, that's the Valkyrie woman. I don't remember if she hurts me. Oh, there's Carrot Man. Carrot Man, hi. Need your help. Yes. I want to identify this, decoys, and this. Telephone. Fantastic. Alright, that basically just drops the phone down there and you're able to use it. Perfect. Not that it helped me much, but again, as I said, even in linear play, it is random where the phone is going to show off, or what areas it's going to reveal. Okay. Alright, so I guess... oh, there's another phone. Oh, Boogeyman. Shit. Oh, there's the chip piece. Alright, got the forward stabilizing unit. Yeah, I don't want to stop. Grab the burger and go. Uh-oh, it's a dead end. Do I have anything item-wise to get my ass out here? Okay, I can do that. I can put a decoy down. So what decoy is it puts down, okay, I don't need this now, but I may as well just drop it anyway. Why not? Yeah, the decoy will, distract the enemies at least, so I was able to make a quick getaway. Not doing well in health. I need to find some... oh, shit. The nerds are back. Well... alright, fine. Sorry, nerds. You gotta die. So it's like Revenge of the Nerds. I guess that's the case. Damn. Okay, I couldn't kill him. Alright, they did go away, so nothing else we're able to go on. Alright, so we're halfway done on the ship pieces. But this is where the challenge is really going to start. Yeah, especially when this whole area is full of sand. Alright, so we gotta walk. Okay, so at least I know there's a decoy. I just want to make sure that I'm not finding the randomizer. Or if I do find the randomizer that I identify, the way I do a total blunder. Alright, I also keep hitting the wrong button. It's C button is for the map. Okay, what do we got here? Boombox. What this? Yeah, fuck, we're opening it. Oh, that's the rain cloud. Yeah, when you have the rain cloud, you get, electrocuted. Oh shit, so this is bad. Put the decoy down to get rid of, Boogeyman. Ow. Well, let's go in the water, because, yeah, that's the way to, handle the rain cloud. Yeah, because unlike in real life, when you go in the water, as far as this, the lightning will not strike you and hurt you. You have to come out eventually, and then go back in again. As I mentioned, if you get the elevator quickly, you're able to ride it out and get out of the way. Alright, so that could have been worse, even though it, definitely hurt me. Oh no, tornado again. Alright, so everything is identified at least, so I have rose bushes of decoy and root beer. Yeah, we can run root beer, why not? Yeah, because me making noise is not gonna help with the tornado. Tornadoes, shit. There's more than one. Oh, he's gonna hurt Boogeyman, crap. But, hold on. Maybe the decoy can help Boogeyman, even with the, belching fit. Yeah, sometimes that's what happens. Like, yeah, I don't need to worry about that. It's like, oh shit, yes I do. Alright, there's something. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm waiting to get the randomizer, and I don't want that. Uh-oh. Oh shit, there's Boogeyman. Yeah, the Boogeyman will get us, and I don't know if you can kill the Boogeyman, as far as I know. Oh shit. I would like to get that, but I also need the cherry pie. Alright, phone, where's the phone? See, I get the sense that's the randomizer. Don't know why, but I get the sense that's the one, so I'm not gonna open that. I don't know, maybe it's the question mark on it, but then again, I said I'm not gonna take the chance. Yeah, I know that's not at least, thank God. So let's grab the decoy. Yeah, this is mostly what the game is gonna be for the rest of it, because pretty much, oh no! Mole! Crap! Yeah, he taken a lot. Come on, guys. Yeah, see, I'm also nervous looking at this thing. Okay, good. Mail order. Okay, fantastic. We got something new. I could afford the door. You know what? I'm gonna buy a door. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna buy 2 doors. Let's go in the door. Please tell me this takes me somewhere close. Okay, it takes me back here. And it's worth pointing out, I did do tests with this off-screen when I did my practice, which is the way the door works, it's out. It will determine the location that it will send you as soon as the door drops. So if you use the rewind on this system for that, and you put the door down again, it will not take you to the same place. So point is that it does not determine the destination when you go in the door, but when you first drop it. Which actually is not sure how it worked. But I said, oh, since I have a rewind function, I can A, use it as a safety net whilst I'm practicing, and B, do some research saying, how does the RNG of the game work? Because I know that's something that comes up with a lot of games. I know Mario Party is like that, saying, hey, when you hit the dice block, does it decide what you're going to be getting the number of as soon as you hit it, or does it decide it when it first pops up? The answer is when it first pops up. So it's kind of like this. Okay, so it could be up there. Oh no. Actually, can I use the decoy here? Oh shit. Okay, yeah, okay, I can. I keep hitting that capture button. So usually I I want to hold that down when I see weird shit, but in this case, I haven't really run into that yet. Alright, that's the fishbone. I just don't know how much damage that does if I eat that. Alright, dead end. Alright, let's use the other doorway. Thank God I want more than one. Alright, that's the earthling, which... Oh no! Okay, good. Alright, that is close over here, so maybe it's up here. No! I don't want to hit the tornado. And also the tornadoes, they don't... Yeah, you can't necessarily run away from them easily. Crap, I'm gonna get stuck. Let me out, let me out! Oh no. Don't get me across a, Oh no. Crap. Don't drop me here. I think it's on a timer, but I don't know if it's a case where you keep mashing buttons, you get out of it. Okay, thank God. Whew. I guess it's on a timer then. Alright, thank God I got out of it without getting myself destroyed. Alright, what about up here? No! Oh no! Boombox. There you go, you get the boogeyman to start dancing, thank God. Alright, enjoy the funky flow and we're getting our way out. Thank Christ. Alrighty. So we're doing good. But I'd be careful because I'm running out of lives. And I haven't found the present that gives you extra lives. But there's a ship piece here. Yeah, I'm not opening that. And in fact, I'm going to the door right now. Ugh. I hear the phone. No, 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 not one of these. Not again on Boogeyman. Rosebushes. Yeah. Ow. I didn't get to the phone in time. Oh shit, yuck. Fish bones. Okay, it didn't kill me, thank God. Yeah, but I'm in trouble. I'm not opening that one. I'm gonna take the root beer. And then I'm gonna open... I'll open this. Oh shit, that's the one! That's the randomizer, shit. See, I thought it was the question mark one. I didn't want to open that one, but alright, there you go. So all my presents are randomized. And I have to identify them all again, shit. Alright, whoa! Alright, but that also could be a good thing, because it means that I might get other things that I can survive with. So actually, that might have been a blessing in disguise. Oh no, let's go... Alright, what else we got? Okay, I did get a lot of distance there, thank Christ. But also, I don't know what any of these presents are now. Okay, that's an unfall. So I have to kind of go back to square one when it comes to this. But I was able to get health, which I needed that honestly more than anything, so it's probably fine that this happens. Oh no, the rain cloud. Do I have something I can mitigate this with? Well, that is the rain cloud, so let's get rid of that. Oh no, I didn't want to drop that one. Okay, well it's not hurting me too bad. Yum. What was that? Actually, that might have been food. Oh no. I was saying, I should go in the water. What am I doing? It should wear off soon enough. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it was getting harder from here on out. Let's see. Unfall. I can use that if I fall. Right, there's food. Ah, root beer. Okay, that's root beer now. Okay. Oh no, Boogeyman's here too. Give me some more money. I just need to have money. We'll be good. Right, I forgot. Yeah, we gotta go find a ship part here. No. Alright, there's, wizard. Help, help, help! Oh, it's full recovery. Thank God. Wow. Okay, that was nice. Okay, so that present could be a randomized now. Or not. Okay, so I have to go... I guess I gotta find where the... Okay, cool. Slingshot. Okay, so, yeah. The slingshot, it's like the... It's like the... What was it? The tomatoes that shoots further. Oh, shit. Crap, he knocked me off. I have to walk back to the door, or the elevator, okay. Just keep making the walk, and at least there's some money. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Okay, back in the elevator we go. Let's try this again. I think it's got to be up like the northeast of the map. But if nothing else, you're also seeing how the difficulty curve on this game is. It's very gradual in a good way. So in that case, yeah, it's not going to be too bad as you go along. But yeah, with the boogeyman here, that's going to be a problem. Or I'll go this way, so if nothing else, I can try and get some more presents, and also see if I can't find it over here. Alright, now I'm like, oh shit, no! Alright, I guess I gotta use something. Wow, fudge sundae. Come on, come on. Hey, Electverse, so good to see you tonight. We're playing ToeJam Earl for Sega Genesis. This is on the quest of AG42. Not sure if you played it. I hope you're doing well. So good to see you tonight. Feel free to indicate any memories you have on this game if you played it, how you've been doing, other stuff you've been playing, and shit, I gotta be careful of the boogeyman, and I gotta get off this island, so I guess because we're playing this linearly, because I asked AG42, how do you want me to do this, either randomly or not? And he said, don't bother doing it randomly. Actually, no, unfalse might be useful here. So good to see you tonight. We got a promotion. We're Rap Master. I just need to get my way out of here to go find the ship pieces. Alright, here we go. We were Rap Masters. Actually, we were almost at the... Oh, actually, that is the second to last of the promotions, but yeah, I'm stuck in this island, so I gotta figure what I'm doing to get off. Perfect. Dick swings. It's a game I've seen videos of, but I haven't played this one. Yeah. Crap. Yeah. Kept flying. Awesome. Okay, yeah, I wanted to use the Icarus swings. Thank God I pulled that as far as the presents. Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of a roguelike game. In fact, it's the first roguelike game we've ever played. It has great style to itself, but it's also something when I first played it, I wasn't necessarily sure what I was doing, and actually, I fudge sundae? Yes. I need health. And it's also strange with its, I guess with its imagery as far as it, but it is something that is very endearing, but also something that, especially later, it can be pretty tough. Okay, the good news is the boogeyman is over there. Well, good news he's there, so he's not over that way. There's the... Okay, because the point of the game is you have to go and find the ship pieces. Just to give a sense of where we're at, I have half of them so far. There is one here. The door's over there. I have food, which gives me health. That's the idea of it. I spent the last few days house sitting for my cousin. Oh, great. I hope it went well, and hope your family and everybody's doing well also. Okay, good. Oh, shit, no. Yeah, because I did want to try and get the fudge cake for food. No, I get that as well. So, good to hear that as far as it. Hopefully it was a good case of itself. Let's see, what else? Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the presents I have are not identified anymore, so I'm going to have to go around. It was fine. Well, that's good, as far as it. Because sometimes the question, like, how does that go when you have to do house sitting like that, although in all honesty, Weirdly enough, I've never really had to be in that much of a position of that. I think maybe I did it once. But even then, not a whole lot. Definitely a lot of things you have to manage. Well, okay, there's the wizard, or the... Yeah, I think the wizard. So let's give her some... Do I have money? I hope I have money. Yes, you get the Handel's, Hallelujah Messiah going on when you, give money to her. Which is... Okay, I have $2. Fantastic. Yeah, because you give her $1, you get a health recovery, and I definitely need it, and I need to find where... Oh, I could have went up... Okay, I sort of could have went up there. I gotta find the ship piece. I guess the ship piece is up there. Yeah, because I have to look where the ship piece is, but I don't know where it is. Yeah, but I've been doing alright as far as myself recently. Mainly, I'm gonna level with you. I've been recovering from sickness recently, including last week, although not too bad. And I'm feeling better now than I did when I started the show. First, like, am I gonna be able to do the show tonight? And the answer was, yeah, I'm gonna be able to. I mean, if it was a bad case, I wouldn't, but I have tons of water, tons of teas, tons of everything to kind of make sure everything's going on for it. Yeah, it's a weird case, because, yeah, I do a show that's a commentary case. I can't, go on camera without talking that way. That, and I was trying to figure tech problems, because it looked like on the footage it was doing, like, flashes of something. Well, fine, flashes of the screen that looked like something was wrong with it. So I had to reset my PC. And I was like, wait a second, I don't remember my Windows pin, so I had to figure that case. And the keyboard on my PC, or the non-external keyboard, some of its number keys are not hitting down well anymore, so I had to get that figured. Like, I gotta get into this to do the show, so I kind of started a little later, but not too later. As you walk along, you do also get some cases where the areas will display. Also, I don't know, going to this game, yeah, you've seen this and never played it, and I guess that's kind of how I was for a while growing up. I mean, I'd played it, I think, a little, because I had Sega Genesis, so I knew people who had it. I have tons of unfalls, but not much else I can do with that. Let's open this. Oh, telephone. Yeah, okay, that's not gonna help me. Except I'm gonna get hurt by him. I need to eat fudge sundae. Yeah, honestly, okay, thank God, there's the ship part. Yeah, you find this here, you pick it up, and we got it. So that's the rear leg. It is kind of a different game than you usually got, honestly, even of stuff on Sega Genesis at the time. So it's something that I maybe didn't know what I was getting myself into when I played it the first time. But when I did practice this to get ready for it, because I know AG42, he loves this game. And I said, hey, you want me to do this? Like, yeah, I'd love to see this. I said, great, let's do it. I did kind of understand it more, and I do quite like this. It's something, if nothing else, I'll say this. It's a very interesting game. And it's something interesting to look back on against the other games in this franchise, because this was enough of a hit, or cult hit anyway, selling about 350,000 units, that they said, we can sort of turn this into a franchise. And they did with Panic on Funkatron, which was the sequel on Sega Genesis, then Mission to Earth, which was the Xbox game. Ouch! The light gun shooter, that being Ready Aim Tomatoes, which is in the Menacer 6-in-1 cartridge. And then Back in the Groove, which is the one from, I think it was from 2019. That's on all the modern systems. I haven't played that one. From what I saw, though, because I think Edwick has it. It's like a mixture of this one and Panic on Funkatron, because Panic on Funkatron's a platformer. Like a straight 2D platformer. Whereas this one is kind of the roguelite look, and that's also how Mission Earth is, which is the Xbox game. Initially titled All Funked Up, but I guess they said, yeah, I don't know if we want to have that title. Although I thought it was kind of funny as far as, but either way, we got it. And we got the elevator, we can go up to the next stage. We're at level 17. There are 25 levels, but not every level has a ship piece. So we'll see what the next one does. Alright, so next for level 18. Okay, there's no ship piece here. They'll tell you if there is one. So in this case, I just need to find my way to the exits, or to the elevator. And I guess see what I want to do with my presents. I'm gonna drop rain clouds, because I use the rain clouds. I'll have a lightning cloud over my head, and I get myself hurt. Unfalls if I fall again, so I don't want to do that. I'll open this. We have some springy shoes, or spring shoes. You call them springy shoes. I don't know why I want to call it that. In that case, I do bouncing, so I do have those identified, and then I have that. I don't know what that is. I'll wait to open it, because Before you jumped on, I pulled the randomizer, which randomized all your presents again, and you have to kind of start from square one again of what they are. And there's Dad mowing the lawn with a cigar. So, thankfully, he's kind of just going around aimlessly, so hopefully he won't hit me. Yeah. And there's Hula Dancer. Actually, can I get stuck in hula form if I have the spring shoes on? Honestly, I don't know, because you walk past the Hula Dancers, you usually start dancing and you won't be able to move, which is bad if there's enemies around. But I guess with the spring shoes, I guess that overrides it. Alright, there's the Carrot Man. I do want to talk to him, because if you have money and give it to him, I can identify one of my presents. Let's identify this one. Super High Tops. Awesome. I do want that one. That's one of the best ones because you're able to use that to run around. And you cover distance a bit quicker. Okay, this is what they were before, but okay, I don't have any more money. Yeah, you run on bucks in this game. Every $2 you pay the Carrot Man, he's able to identify a present, or a type of present. But here, not really a good case of that. Or not a case where I can afford it. There's some food, and yeah, you do pick up food. There's good food and bad food. Most of it is good, but there's occasion you get bad stuff like moldy bread or moldy cheese. But not bad, a candy cane. Yeah, in this case, just walk to the exit. It's pretty basic. It is like a roguelike game, and I guess also Electros are going on this. I don't know what your experience with roguelike games are, roguelike games. It tends to be one or the other. Honestly, my experience really with them are really, I guess this one... I guess, okay, there's the Hula Dancer by the elevator. Okay, so I can go right there. Perfect. I guess the only other one I sort of have, a background with is Bastion, which we're going to show off on our Dual Xbox Live Showcase 2 in November. But other people I know played stuff like Hades and Enter the Gungeon and things like that, which I know, but cases where I haven't necessarily played them that much. And also Time Stalkers, which is on Dreamcast, which is a game that is actually a sequel of sorts to Landstalker from Sega Genesis that has a roguelike perspective about itself, where everything's randomly generated as far as the dungeons. And this game can be randomly generated too if you turn that option on. I did that for my practice, but for the purpose of this, we're getting tornadoes and the moles. Yeah, the moles steal your presents, the tornadoes blow you all around, and I don't want to get hit by them. Ugh. There's Boogeyman. There's Boogeyman, I think, going this way too. And we're 6 levels away from the end, so as we go along, I don't want to die here. You don't have continues in this game. Those stars down there are your lives, and if you, we got, okay, no, we didn't get a promotion. First, like, wait, did we get promoted? You're promoted, by the way, based on your points. And I don't know if I want to take a chance at some of the presents. Alright, but they're also the chickens that shoot, the mortars that shoot out tomatoes. Yeah, this game's very strange, and they definitely love tomatoes in this franchise. But also a very relaxing game, I'll say that for sure. So actually, even tonight, it's been something I kind of have maybe been losing myself a little bit. That, and also, I guess, as I said, because stuff with my throat has just been, it's like, yeah, I do want to talk. I'm not going to say, no, I'm not talking on the show. But also, Casey said, well, I can at least kind of, pace myself enough. But then for this game, it's like, oh, just kind of go on. What's over here? Kind of maybe losing myself. Even though this is Earth, it's a very weird case of what Earth is looking like in this game. But still something that is very appealing. We use super high tops now. No! Okay, I'm fine with that. He stole my presents. Fine, just go. Okay, nothing here. If it means I can get a quick getaway, I'm down with that. Hit the A button to use your items, by the way. Or when they have an effect when you're outside of, the menu. Use them to use this, and hit the A button to use them, and nothing down here, which is good. No, shit, no! Okay, that's good, because I can use my unfall. So fine, you saw I fell down, you fall down, by the way, you go down to the last level you're on. But if you have an unfall, so I get to use this, thank God. Boom. Going back to the last level we're on, so back to 19 as if nothing ever happened. I guess it takes you a random place, I did not know it did that. Yes, this game does have a lot of secrets to itself, and as I mentioned before we jumped on, it is kind of a... Oh shit, no, why did I do that? Okay, maybe because I have another, unfall. Oh, well... I mean, oh, shit. I'm bouncing on the, oh, wow. I was bouncing on the bees. I mean, I could use the unfall, but I'm at the elevator, so just just go back in. Yeah, as I was saying, this was inspired, as I mentioned, from, based on Rogue, Exploring the Dungeons of Doom, which is an Epix game from 1980. Which is kind of interesting as far as that. Okay, so back on 19. Right, I just have to find where the elevator is. This is kind of what the game is gonna, not devolving into, it's just what the game revolves around. Let's go up. Yeah, stop, boogeyman. Oh no. What do I have here? Anything I can use? Door. Go in the door. Oh, where'd it take me? Zoom over here. Yeah, when you use the door, you go to a random area on the map. If nothing else got me out of the way of the boogeyman. If it gets me close to the elevator, I'll take that. Where is it? Yeah, I'm low on health. Do I have anything I can use to, cover myself? No, I don't. Oh shit, I got hit by that and I'm dead. Also, I'm gonna do something drastic. Just in case, I am going to put a save state down, because if I do get in a case of getting a game over, I don't want to start this whole game over again. Because I'm on my last life. I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, but just in case it does, I'm gonna do that. Guess that's the benefit of running this case, but also, yeah, it also shows this game getting way harder now. Alright, I got a couple doorways, but... Oh, I got another doorway. Fantastic. Alright, how much money do I have? $3. Please tell me also this is not a... Okay, good. It's a real one. I don't have enough for the mail order. Yeah, because you go to the mailboxes, you can buy items. Unless they're possessed, in which case they can kill you. See, it's one of those games. There's a lot of things that can end your life really quickly. Also, I'm getting tons of those presents that are doorways, so I'm gonna stock those and use them if I can get away with doing this. Oh, no! No, no, no! No! It's stuck in the tornado. Oh, no. I just hope it lets me out on solid ground, otherwise I'm falling. I don't remember if another unfall to come back from that. It doesn't hurt me, though, thank God. And falling doesn't hurt you either. It's just in case it's a little bit, it's just an inconvenience that you go back to the area you were at before. As far as the previous level. Okay, doors down there, awesome. So what do I have? Okay, I do have an unfall, so I can use that, thank God. Okay, I want to get this because I think I identified this as food. Did I? Oh, even better, super high tops. So I'll hold that till I really need it. Probably on a level where there's a ship piece. We are almost there. There's only 5 levels to go, and the last couple levels you're going to be getting ship pieces left and right. Oh no! No! Taking my presents. Just don't take my one for my super high tops, please. Oh wait, why am I going to the map? Let's go. Okay, level 19's done, so we're almost there. And just to give a sense, when we're done with this, I will also show off what random mode looks like. I'll show Jam out, and I will give a look at what 2-player is as far as how it does split screen, which is interesting. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to go that long as far as the show. I'll go as long as we need to go on the game, as is the case. Okay, there is a ship piece here, though. Thankfully, it's grass, so it's not something I have to be necessarily worried about the fact that, oh yeah, I'm going to be on sand where I run slower and sink. Which also makes you move slower as it is. But ToeJam does move faster than shit. He does move faster than shit, but he also moves faster than Earl. But Earl has a higher life bar. Alright, so where is... Okay, there's the nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. So let's see. Doorway, go in the door. Get my way out of there. Okay, so, fantastic. Yeah, I think those doorways are gonna come in mighty handy here. Right, there's another unfall. That'll also come in handy if I fall again. But... everything else, I just keep my eye on the prize, which is the ship pieces. Yeah, because the plot of this game, just going to that again, is... I'm hearing a phone ringing. Let's go get the phone to identify elements on map. Alright, well there's the elevator. The elevator's over there, so I know where that is. That's good. But unfortunately underneath that was slimy fungus, so I'm getting myself hurt. Yeah, but our ship crashed because Earl took the wheel and crashed into something, so we gotta go and get all the pieces on Earth and then go home. Yeah, we'll go back to Funkatron. We'll see that it's gonna be a pretty cool site. Yeah, and as far as our promotion case, we only have one more to go, and I think it's when you get to 1,000 points, I think. I mean, we'll see. Or maybe I'll find the item that gives me an instant promotion. Because actually, I've been getting lucky getting those. Alright, there's another fudge sundae I don't need, but... Uh-oh. It is also very random how they go, or how he's going, but I do like that. I mean, it gives you a lot of surprise as far as that, and also in case that when you go to another level, like, yeah, what are we gonna see next? So it does keep you on your toes, it keeps you intrigued the whole way through. Oops. Yeah, by the way, too many. You have a limit of... 16 presents. Let's say, how many presents are you limited on? 16. Oh, I haven't used the super high tops yet. So in that case, you can't pick up anymore. Which right now is fine. Just holding those doorways until I need them, and then also getting a sense of where the ship piece is. Maybe it's over here? Oh yeah, it is. Perfect. Okay, I just had to say that. I didn't know it was over here. Because as I mentioned, I have not played through this game on, you know, linear mode before. Awesome snowboard. Yeah, so our ship has kind of a snowboard case, so you can kind of, I guess you can do sick tricks as far as down the mountains if you want to use it that way. Alright. Thankfully, we know where the, what is it, the elevator is. Also, I want to make sure that I can... I was gonna say I could use my doorway, but I don't know what's gonna take me. It could screw me over. Because there is a lot of randomness to this game, even when you're playing in you know, a set area like this is, or set map locations. Alright, it's over there. Yeah, but how do I get over there? Yeah, here you go. Alright, there's another doorway. I can use that. Or I can grab... Oh, wait, I can't grab that. Oh, no. Ow. Shit, he took tons of damage off. Alright. I'll tell you what, dude. I'm gonna use a doorway, but I'm also gonna pick up the other doorway. Okay. Oh, shit, he put me over here. I'm on an island I can't get past. Alright, we're gonna use the other one. Thank God we got this. Alright, there's another unfall. So let's see. Back here again. I got a couple of these. I'm just gonna keep using them. Oh, shit, it put me over there. We did it? Hold on. Alright, that's better. So, maybe that's closer. Yeah, because it's out there. Oh, perfect. Okay. Also, I don't know if it's a glitch on this. I don't think it is. It seems like some of the music is kind of, you know, going over itself a little bit. Although maybe it's doing it more because we're higher up on a higher level. Alright, let me grab the bacon and eggs before we go. And the money. Is there anything else? Oh, no, I don't want you here. I'm on my last life as it is, so I don't want to take that chance. Alright. We're almost there. Yeah, level 20's done. Alright, what's level 21 gonna give us? Here's a nice companion background. Oh, another ship piece. Alright, there's another super high tops. Can I get it? Okay, good. Fantastic. So I have 2 of these. Oh, where are they? Oh no, I don't have 2 of them. I guess I used. Oh, I used the other one. Right, never mind. I do have $8, so that's actually gonna be pretty good. They do have the nice meep meep or beep beep case going on. And nothing else is to let me cover distance a little quicker and get out of the way of the tornado. Let's see. We want to go this way. Yeah, I don't care there's too many. I just want to get going. And get to the phone before it goes away. Alright, elevator's up there. So that's good. Ooh. Okay, where's... nothing here. Do I have anything here? Oh, I have another one. Okay, so I guess I got another super high top. I mean, I kind of want to use the other one just to get my way through this. Or... Ow. Maybe I'm okay without it for now. Yes, you do have to be very strategic on how you use your presence. Which I do like that. But also something that I kind of... I mean, it is tempting to use them right away, but it's also something that I don't know if I want to necessarily. Alright, there's more money. Oh, no, no, he's bad. I'm gonna use the high tops now. Now I'm using it. I'm not gonna hang around there, because the killer mailbox hurts very, very badly. And if I get hit by that, I'm gonna die. And that's gonna be game over. Dead end. Oh no, boogeyman. Oh, get the pancakes. Right, there's another present. Don't get that fish bone, because it's gonna be hurting me. Go to the left. I mean, okay, actually I could make this jump. Let's try and make it. There we go. Okay. I mean, great if it's over here, but it's not over here, so... Yeah, it's not gonna be helping me much. I don't know if I can launch my way back. Oh, well, okay, I don't have to. I just go down this way. Alright. I think it's down south. We only have 3 pieces to go. We're pretty close. Alright, what we got on presents? Anything useful now? Oh, I got the Icarus wings. I'm not finding the guy to identify him, because I have enough money to do it, but... Yeah, I don't see him. Oh, I'm back here again. Ow, ooh, I can go that way. Unless I get caught by the tornado. Ah. You know what, this is probably fine. I mean, because it's not gonna hurt me, as long as it doesn't drop me over a bottomless pit. But even if it does, I have enough unfalls I can mitigate that. Okay, good. Thank God. Oh, no! And that's... Okay, that's bad. There's Boogeyman. 2 of them. Doorway. Walk in the door. Walk in the door. Shit. Ow! Crap, I'm gonna die. Alright, I gotta start using presents, otherwise I'm gonna die. Rose bushes. Don't care about that. How about that? Slingshot. I need to find some food. Boombox. I'm running a risk doing this, but I'm gonna die if I don't. Buck. Okay, that's money. Okay, so extra money, so I got that. Alright, root beer, that helps a little, but it's not much health. Oh, crap. What else do I have on my presents list? I'm afraid I pulled Total Bummer, though. That's my concern. Oh, that's decoy. But I need to try and find food, otherwise I'm gonna die and it's gonna be a game over. Yeah, hold on. Actually, I could. Actually, I can use the Icar swings. That'll help. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, perfect. There's the ship piece. Fantastic. Righteous Rat Master capsule. Thank God. Oh, there's a cake. Thank God. Let's go grab that. Alright, now I'm gonna try and use the Icar swings to get back, and if I fall, I don't care, because what I'm gonna do is I'll use my unfall. Okay, well, I was able to get back, and I have some health, so yeah, the dream lives on another day. Also, again, to be absolutely sure, I'm saving. Just use it as a life insurance policy, because if I get a game over, I don't want to start this whole game over again, especially not when I've gotten so far. Also, what do I have on my... Oh, I have a fudge sundae. Thank God. Let's eat that. Oh no, bees! Yeah, basically just to keep my health up. I do know where the door is, so as long as I get my way to the door, way to the elevator, we'll be alright. There's more root beer. I don't know if I want to use that now. Because honestly, you don't get much health from root beer anyway. No, maybe I can sneak past the boogeyman. Yeah, so it's kind of a little... Oh no, it's like a stealth game. Ouch! Okay, he pushed me off, but that's kind of okay. I'm kind of glad he did that, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't count. Let's get our way back. Oh no! Unless I land on him again. Oh no! Alright, so I died anyway. Sorry, never mind. Oh crap. Okay, so 0 counts as life. Thank God. There's like 3 of them here. Shit. Alright. Yeah, it's all the way up there. I need to find health, because I don't have much. Alright, now, this is my last life. If I get killed here, I'm gonna be, it's game over. Right, I think I have a straight shot. It's just the next couple levels I'm concerned about. Oh, there we go. I got promoted. Thank God. We're Frunk Lord. Now, this is the highest rank we got. But no, don't stop now. Not with the bees and everything in line. Oh, I got a life. Thank God. Right, you get a life when you get a promotion. Thank God. So yeah, the dream lives another day. Fantastic. Alright, that is just what I needed. Alright. That's really good. Alright, there's money there, but also we're getting the ice cream truck. I don't have my phone. Okay, there we go. It's all the way up there. That's the ice cream truck. He's gonna run my ass over. Unless he disappears first. Oh no, Boogeyman again. I don't know if I can, I don't know if I can kill him with these. You know, let's try it. Fuck it. Okay, good. I can kill him. Okay, and I can also destroy the ice cream truck. Thank God. So I can't kill the Boogeyman with tomatoes. Because honestly, this game's not really about its combat. Which makes sense, the kind of thing it is. Alright, but how many pieces do we have left? Let's just see. We have 2. And so we're on level 22. And level 25 we'll have the last piece. As soon as we find it, we're done. So yeah, I think we can do this. And more I can do this without having to cheat or having to do rewinds. Because I want to not do that. I really do. Uh-oh, but that's still there. Ow! Get up. Oh no, I got run over. Alright, so now I'm off on my last life once again. Well, I have a presence. Anything I can use to get out of here easily? Yeah, the Icarus wings, but I want to hold on to that. Oh no, but look at that. Stop it! He's gonna keep coming back and run my ass over again? Crap. Oh no. I guess I gotta use it now. There we go. Fly my way through. Yeah, I didn't want to have to use it, but now I have no choice. It's over there. I gotta go that way. That's money, which honestly I'm not gonna have to use that much. Alright, there's the elevator. Not even waiting. Just get myself going. I'll put another one of these down just to make sure. It's basically just every time I'm getting close to dying and getting game over. Put this down so I can have a backup. Because there are no continues in this game. So actually this game gets pretty damn hard. Especially at the end of it. And it's because of the fact they have more earthlings or other things that hurt you really bad. Like the boogeyman and also the ice cream trucks. Those are absolutely the worst. Oh, there's Fudge Sundae in that, and there's Crazy Dentists. Where the Fudge Sundae and bacon and eggs. Won't eat that. Yeah, look at him prancing around. Like, yeah, I want to get out of the way of them. Ow. Yeah, they're nuts, so we gotta get ourselves going. Oh no. Jump in the water. There you go. They won't come in the water. But I also have to come out of the water eventually. Oh no! Crap. Alright, we're gonna have to continue from there. Sorry. Alright, so level 23. I went far without getting it bogus. Game over. And yeah, you have to go back to the title screen. We are not doing that. Yeah, I wish that didn't happen, but I said, especially at the end, that's gonna be the problem. Yeah, because we only have 2 ship pieces left. Let's open this. Oh, shit, that's the... Shit, that's the instant kill. Actually, wait a second, let me go back. Well, if nothing else, I show what it did. So that's what it did. I was trying to go in the menu because if I could use my root beer in time, I would live. Alright, but I showed you what total bummer is. That's the one that kills you. But if you're able to go in the menu right before you die, I did and I went out of it. You're able to live. So give me the root beer and then we'll have this. Okay, so 2 more pieces to get and we'll be done. I don't know which one that was. Actually, I don't... Yeah, I'm not gonna take the chance again. In this case, just pick up every piece of food I can find. And look for that ship piece, and then look for the way out. Alright, there's a pizza. Let's take that. Yum, pizza. And even in the case they have those little text boxes coming up, it does make it really not... Or it gives it a nice feel. It's like, oh yeah, they're saying what it is to you. And in Mission to Earth, the Xbox edition of this, they do... Actually, wait, okay, that didn't wear off yet. I'm waiting until this wears off. Because otherwise I'm going to make too much noise, and I'm going to wake up the dentist. Yeah, but in ToeJam Earl 3, they do actually say, in the dialogue, they'll actually speak it out saying, oh, look, it's root beer. And so they actually will say that, which is really nice. Actually, that's the one that I think is the closest to this. You're saying, hey, I want this experience again. That's the one that's seeming the closest. Oh shit, did I wake him up anyway? Okay, good, mail order. What do I have here? I don't know what that is. Do I want to take a risk? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and just get to where the elevator is. I'll be fine. Well, all right. I need to get the ship piece here. So I need both of those things. Actually, do I have a telephone here? Oh no, I could have bought the telephone. Maybe we should go back and get it. Right, there's moldy bread. Don't want to get that. Alright, there we go. There's Dennis. You sneak past. Alright, there we go. There's the ship piece. Fantastic. You get the right megawatt speaker. So yeah, one more to go and we'll be set. And honestly, even with the fact I had to restart a little, it's not as bad as I thought. Although I will say this. Putting that there because I don't want to redo this again. Yeah, I did practice, although I practiced the hard way, saying I'm going to use the random mode. I mean, I could... Where am I? I don't know where the door is. If I knew where the door was, I could... I mean, I could also do that anyway. Fall, and then use the unfall and hope it puts me somewhere close. I also got a sense of there's so many areas that I haven't identified yet. Try and see where it could possibly be. Oh, he's asleep. Can I sneak over and get the cereal? Not that cereal. Yeah, he doesn't say what cereal it is, so it could really be anything. And it's not as if this franchise ever had corporate tie-ins to itself. I mean, well, not completely. The only one that does is Mission Earth, the one on Xbox, because it did have Xbox Live support for downloadable content. And you do run into, like, the character walking around who's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type. And they'll say, come and get items from Xbox Live. And it's really interesting to kind of hear that. It's like, okay. Which is also part of the reason they're not going to re-release that game. Because Xbox Live is not called that anymore. And in that case... Yeah, I don't know, honestly, if they would do it again. Oh, phone. I do want to get that, but I don't know if I'm going to get over to it in time. Or I can say, screw it, I'll buy this telephone. So you know what, let's do that. I'm not getting on that one, but I'm going to pick up this one. Alright, nothing. What do we got on... Let's buy another one, why not? I got the money, let's use it. And health, I'm okay. I'm going to hold on to that fudge sundae, because I do have one of those, so if I can maximize my use of it, I want to do it. I mean, it also could be out on the island. I don't have an inner tube, do I? I don't. I have spring shoes. Well, I don't know if you can spring shoe off of the water. Alright, there's the island. Maybe it's out here. Alright, it is. Fantastic. Alright, bye-bye, dentist. And hello, save point. Okay, only 2 more left. So, the next level is probably not going to have one, and then 25 is going to have it. So the next one I just have to get to the elevator and we go. And the last one is where the last piece is going to be. And as soon as we get that, that's the end of the game. Okay. Right, what do I have to help here? Not much that's going to help me identify where I am. But there's bacon and eggs. There is also another fudge sundae, so I have my full health now. Fantastic. There's Hula Girl. I do like that case where he's kind of just shimmying along. It does look great. Oh no, Boogeyman, that's not great. Alright, let's thing. Yeah, I just don't want him to come around. Sneak past. Okay, he's over there. And you can sort of see it in the shadow, and I love the fact that they used the translucency of the Genesis that way to do that. Do I want the money? Yes, I do want the money. Alright, $1. I mean, I could also use my presents. I don't want to use my presents as far as the ones I don't know what they are. Oh, there's another boogeyman. And a lot of hula dancers. Oh, no. Ow! Alright, there's something. Alright, still nothing I identified. And I don't want to take another chance and have a case of it, you know, blowing up my face. I'll mail it, or what do you got? Nothing I can afford. Right, there's a present out there I can't get. So I'm on this island. I think I'm stuck here unless I go over to the left. I don't think I have any items I can use to get my way out. Oh, okay, actually, I don't know if I've actually ever seen that. Hubba Hubba. Which I guess goes to the idea of how the third game, because actually my experience with ToeJam Earl mostly is with the third game, admittingly. But in that one, it's a case where ToeJam is definitely a player in that one, even though he does have a girlfriend, Letitia, who's also in the Back in the Groove game. And in that case, he's kind of hitting on a bunch of people as far as that. But even the case, like, they're like filming like a crib-style documentary at the beginning of that one in the intro. And he's constantly putting the camera onto Letitia's ass, and she's saying like, ToeJam, what the hell are you doing? He's like, nothing. I'm just looking at these flowers. You best be looking at those flowers. He doesn't get like, I'm not gonna tail you again, ToeJam. You better be watching your point in that thing. It's really interesting, although it's something where, as I said, the idea of potentially it could be offensive as far as it. Though in all honesty for that one, for me, I think it's more a case of maybe them trying too hard above anything else. As I said, yeah, I'm letting myself fall. I'm gonna use my own fall. As I said, I don't necessarily think it's as much of a case as far as, you know, being hateful about itself. As I said, but we can decide that when we play that. Although, actually, I don't have that game anymore. I actually sold it. Not because I was... Well, actually, I guess the reason I sold it was because I felt I'd gotten everything out of it. But it's a case I would like to collect it again to show it, just to get a sense of the game. Now, yeah, how do I get off this island? Maybe I gotta start using my presents. Alright, I'm not using this. Get rid of that rain cloud. Not gonna let anything rain on my parade. I'll use the fudge sundae. I'm close enough, I'm saving. Again, I'm just gonna do this every few steps. It's like the Tomb Raider method. For whenever we get to that. So I guess we'll start with the first one. Pull this. Oh shit, it's the randomizer. Although, it also could be beneficial. Okay, that's the unfall. So that means that that's not the rain cloud anymore. Oh, wait, that's the Icarus wings. Actually, that's going to be very useful. So this kid's just fly, 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 and get myself going. There probably is a way to get off of this. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Okay, I did make it, thank God. I have too many presents, but that's fine. So, alright, that actually ended up being good. So, yeah, the randomizer screws you up, because in that case, you don't know what your presents are anymore. But then again, it also means that there could be something else that would be more useful. And I don't think I needed the Icarus wings to get over there, but alright, there's the elevator. Perfect, we're almost done. And the next area has the last of the presents. But there's tons of hula women here. But before I do that, I'm gonna go get that cake. No, never mind. Will I? Yeah, I'll get it. Perfect. So full health going to the last area. And just to be safe, doing that. Okay, fantastic. Alright, one more area to go, and we'll be almost done, and then we'll be done. But we'll have a little more, and as I said, I don't think we're gonna make this that long a show. Not least of which because I'll have shown most everything in it, but also because... yeah, I'll get this stuff set. Alright. Ow. So now I gotta find the present. That's the last thing I gotta do. Oh, because I randomized my presents again. How about that? Rosebush, which that's not gonna help me much. Although I did identify a lot of rose bushes I got. There's a door, that can help. Let's see. I have another door. As I said, if I did get sent close to where the ship piece is, I'll have made this level really easy, because this is the last level. Well, sort of. There is one other one. I'll show that in a little bit. Alright, there's nothing here, so I guess I'm gonna use my other doorway. Alright. Can I go in the door over here? There we go. Alright, I'm back over here again. Okay, just have to find the present. That's all we gotta do. Or not the present, the chip piece. I have more presents so I can try my luck. Try the question mark. Oh, that's the book. Uh-oh, that's bad. Fell. Please tell me I have an unfall in here. Jackpot, $5. That's the boombox. Also, where am I? Oh, I'm right by it, so never mind. Okay, good. Yeah, I was just afraid. Wait, if I have an unfall there, I wanted to use that so I could get myself back quick. Alright, come on, we almost got this. I got a boombox. Trying to think of who I can use that on to distract. Just hold on. As soon as I see an enemy, I can actually distract that thing. The tornado doesn't count, because the tornado does not care about our sick beats. Yeah, as soon as I see enemies I can use this with, I'm gonna drop that. Yeah, gotta be here somewhere. I also love the idea that's kind of painting the area around, too. Alright, almost there. Alright, where are we? Yeah, because this is a big map. Oh, Boogeyman, we're using the boombox here. Yeah, start dancing, Boogeyman. Oh no, I'm getting stuck in the sand. Did I identify that one? That's another boombox. Yeah, I'm also just looking at any of my presents, seeing did I identify anything here? Or anything that's not the rose bushes in the boombox. Oh, there it is. Fantastic. We're done. I just need to get it over there. Except it's blocking, or the dentist is blocking the way. Can I go around? No. Let's see. Okay, maybe I can use my rose bushes to drop that down. You only drop it on grass, so you have to be careful about this. It's over there. There it is. Alright, get away, dentist. Out of my way. This is mine. We got it. There we go. We're done. That's the Hyperfunk Thruster. That is our last piece. We are finished. So that is the end of the game. And when you get that, we're not quite done, but we do have... I did it! Yeah, thank God. It gets really hard at the end, where I did have to use the save state, but I was like, alright, fine. Only because I didn't want to put you through going through that again. For the whole case of it. But that's better than I thought it was going to be, so crank it. So let's crank that volume. We're gonna blast our base as far as it go all across, you know, go all across the galaxy. I'm thinking like, Mothership Connection by Parliament, which maybe they had that on their minds. Okay, there you go, that's the end of the game. We're not quite done with the show, but also go into some stuff about this game. Yeah, this is a strange one. Yeah, Mark Miller did the music, and also John Baker did the, Mark Miller and John Baker involved in the music, I should say. I guess I'll go with my final thoughts in a little bit, because actually we're not quite done with this. Even though we do have this going on, there is a little extra thing after the credits. And also some other elements of this I do want to give a little bit of lip service to. Yeah, because we're finally going back home to Funkatron. We're gonna make some nice water landings. That's also what you use the ski for, the snowboard thing. Basically, you skid across the water. Right, because yeah, you're playing the post-credits. So you have it surrounded by the nice, I guess, finish line graphics as far as the checkerboard black and white. We're also walking along the way. You also hit, yeah, nothing here. You're basically just walking along and you're gonna talk to all the aliens and everybody. Basically follow the Old Brick Road, so I guess the Wizard of Oz case. Yeah, but this is an interesting game, as I'll go into more on final thoughts on this, but yeah, I had a great time playing this so far. We're not quite done. Yo! You talk to your friends here. Welcome home, TJ. You made it. Yeah, it was not easy, but we had a good time. Most impressive. Thank you. Yo, cuz, what's up? Actually, I don't know if he's necessarily related to ToeJam. Actually, I don't know if they've ever went into any of these games in the series who's related to him or not. But he does have the 3 legs like ToeJam does. So maybe he is our cousin. My hero. Hurrah! Alright, so you have the pig creatures or something. Yeah, definitely jamming. Yeah, you are jamming just the same way that showed on the title screen. Looking good. Yeah, it's like the meatball or something doing backflips or something. Yeah. You're famous. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. People know of our exploits. Jolly good show. Yeah, he's British, but it's an interesting case as well. Just kind of walk around. You can also go in the water, go swimming. I don't know if you have cases where you can drown in here. I don't know, maybe I should put that to the test. It'd be funny if I could drown in here and die. And if I can, I will, I'll restart this, or rewind it. Yeah, I can assume I'm invincible here. Yeah, maybe we could breathe underwater and funk it. Actually, no, we can, because they're the water areas in the next game. So actually, in that case, yeah, I think that's actually a great attention to detail. Welcome back. What'd you bring me? I have a bunch of presents in my packet, but I don't have anything here. They want presents, sorry. Yeah, what'd you bring me? What'd you bring me? What'd you bring me? Yeah, they're all asking what you brought me. He's like, yeah, well, I brought you a lot of love and a lot of life experience. Happy days are here again. Hey, where's my money? Yeah, I got some money that I picked up, so I don't know what the exchange rate is in bucks here. Yo, cuz, what's up? Yeah, it goes to that 90s attitude case, but I think it feels really natural in this case. Sometimes you go back to games like this, maybe it feels like it's forced with the rapturous jubilation, but like, no, it just seems like it fits with this one. I'm gonna faint. Yeah, don't worry, you'll be fine. I mean, I was able to do this show as far as it, despite coming off of like a throat case for myself. Not bad, it's more like a cold flu case, but yeah. And then basically walk all the way to the finish line. Alright, here we go. You do have family. Here's Earl's family. What took you so long? I ran into some trouble on last couple. The end. Bust a move, ToeJam. Alright, so here's the ToeJam family. I guess this is the ToeJam baby. Alright, there you go. There is our most righteous case of this. So there you go. And with that, you press the start button. You resume it, or you can reset the game. Alright, for this... That's a good case, and I will take that shot now. Perfect. Okay, so there you go. That is ToeJam Earl, but I'm going to reset the game. Because I got a couple other things I want to share. And the other one is I'm going to connect my Pro Controller. So I want to show two-player a little bit. I'm going to do ToeJam and... Oh, actually, I'm going to do a couple things. First, I'm going to... Well, yeah, I'll do that first. We'll do random. Right, because in this case, two players can play. So they each have their own perspective of items. So the one thing I'm wondering is I've never actually played this game two-player before. Right, okay, that's the other thing. When you get far away, you have the screen split. So one thing I want to see is... Oh, you... Okay, I was going to say, how does it handle your presence that way? But you are both able to handle presence at the same time, so it doesn't pause the game. Alright, okay, never mind. Yes, it does. Okay, it does pause the game if you're on... You're off on the edge there. But you do both need to go to the same area as far as that. Alright, there you go. So here's the super high tops as far as Earl using it. I see in there Earl does with the higher life bar, and he's a wiener. You're both wieners. You go from wieners to Funk Lords. Well, we definitely did that, had a good time. I'm going to show the randomizer very briefly. Basically what it does is... Oh, I never saw that before. It's dark, I'm scared. Get a clue, Earl. Oh, so you have a dialogue in between the sections as well. That's cool. As I mentioned, because you have the case of the screen splitting off at different junctures, you can kind of go different ways and kind of cover the area. It doesn't really stop the game. This is one of those co-op games that I think is really well designed as far as that, and unique as far as like that split off of stuff. Something the Lego games would do. Okay, the one thing though is that it does pause the game for both players with the map, so I guess you do have to kind of coordinate with players that way. I can also open your presents. Also, the presents are totally random when you're in this mode too, but yum. So in that case, you can kind of split up and say, hey, I want to go find the ship piece, or I can go say, let me go find the elevator. And something they said they wanted to do with this game. They said they wanted to make it something there would be a simple case of multiplayer, but something that you also can kind of split off and kind of do what you want at the same time. Which is a good case of it. You see the great animation of Earl doing the tiptoe. And doing the walk. Yeah, but Earl does sound the same way ToeJam does. Alright, he's falling asleep. Actually, can I wake up ToeJam over here? Except he woke up, yeah, let's say, what's up? Ow, we get stabbed. Alright, so that's gonna be the look at that, just above anything else to show that the layouts and the levels are random as far as how they are. Yeah, the other thing I want to show is I want to load up this save file, because if you're on level 1, you come down here. If you have the Icarus wings, which I know are in this present, you take that and you fly southwest on level 1. We have one of the levels we did not ship. It is actually a place you can go if you fall down far. And it could have behooved me to do this earlier on. If you fly over here, you come to this island. And I see this hole here. In this case, I do want to fall down this. Because it'll take us to a special area. So it says bummer, but we're coming down to level 0. This is a bonus area. Basically, you can come over here to the lemonade stand and take a drink. get an extra life when you're down here. And hang around with the hula dancers. Okay, you can jump into the hot tub. That has a full recovery of your health, and we can have a nice chit-chat as far as with the nice hula dancers. So yeah, look at that, especially at the end of a nice day, as we have the tittering as far as that and the giggling. So yeah, I was like, yeah, ToeJam, what do you think? They mentioning the third leg, which is what comes into the third game. And yeah, that is a euphemism. We'll get to that when we get to that game. Although next time we come to this franchise, it'll probably be with the next one. Panic on Fun Control. I'm going on a little bit. And as you come down here for full health recovery, we go in the hot tub and get a free life by talking to the lemonade stand. But then when you fall down, as we point out, you go back to the level you were last at. Or the highest level you were at. So what you could do is you could, feasibly, get up to level 25, fall down 25 levels, and if you have Icarus wings, because you do need that to make the flight across the water, you will not be able to get there from swimming, or you could use an inner tube if you got one of those. So if you use one of those, use that to get down there, you go down there to get an extra life and to get extra health, and then come back to the area that you need to be, or the last area you were at. So that is a strategy you can use. Whoa. And also, if you're playing the Sega Genesis Classics collection that has this, there is an achievement for going over there to that special area. It's worth pointing out. And yeah, I do have it because I got all the achievements out of that collection, which I have on the Switch, and I also have it on the Xbox One. And the Xbox One version, I think the PS4 version as well, they had to patch it because one of the achievements did not work. That was for Sonic Spinball in particular. But there's one other thing I want to show on this game, so we reset. And I want to show off, Jam Out. This is Jam Out. You can choose to listen to music in the game. Of course, ToeJam Jump, or ToeJam Jammin', Big Earl Bump, Rapmaster Rocket Racket, Funktronic Beat, Alien Breakdown, or ToeJam Slam. Or you have no musical accompaniment at all. Jammin'. I'm gonna pick up the main piece of music here. In this case, there's no percussion. They just play the melody, which I do love that. The idea is that when you press buttons on the controller, or hit D-pad directions, and A, B, and C are each different instruments. And if you press the D-pad direction, you dances and also say lines of dialogue. Alright, never mind. I take that back, saying, hey, Earl doesn't sound different. It's kind of interesting, so it's almost like a music video take, and I know a lot of people said at the time that Sega was kind of going after the MTV generation. Maybe at a point, you know? There's not much to it necessarily, but you're able to kind of have fun with that. You hold the start button, you can go backwards as far as doing that. You also choose ToeJam. I'm going to show the ToeJam Slow Jam. There you go. So you have ToeJam and Big Earl. And it's not something you necessarily think, oh yeah, this would be a mode they put into this. But it is really nice, and also it's very, very colorful. We talked about, I'm a broken record anytime we play a Genesis game, I know this, of saying, hey, what about the color limitations? This console of 64 colors at the same time. But with this game, you never get the sense as far as that it seems like it's limiting. And I do like that very much. Alright, I think that's going to be the case of it. I just want to see if there's anything else I didn't show this game. I did get through this faster than I thought. I'm not going to necessarily elongate this one out, as I mentioned, because as I said, I'm coming off of sickness. And I do want to go into some stuff in that. You can also watch the intro again. Yeah, I think that's about it. I like to say, also, what? He's like, yeah, what do you want to do? Want to do some stuff here. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is... I'm going to reset. I'm going to have the intro play. I'll go over my final thoughts. I think that'll be the show for tonight. Bit shorter, but still sweet. I had a great time playing ToeJam Earl. Thank you so much to AJ42 for the request. Final thoughts on this game. It is a bit unorthodox, but that's kind of what makes it so endearing and so intriguing. And it's really interesting to come back to it for a game as early as it is. You think, well, would this be limiting? Would something where it'd feel like, I don't know, maybe something you would find trouble coming back to, saying it feels too clunky or something like that? I don't know. I think it kind of does a good job as far as it. I don't think it feels clunky. Even when you walk slow, it has a good flow to itself, fitting, I guess, the funk and rap style. That doesn't necessarily feel like you're hamstrung by it. And because of the stuff with the presence, it means that it gives you a lot of options to kind of mitigate some aspects of that, and also to enhance it, because you have like the super high tops. So you can run faster as far as power-ups. But also a lot of strategy that goes with that, but also a bit of a randomness, but something you can kind of play around with it if you know what you're doing. And I guess I sort of know what I'm doing, although AJ42 is definitely the expert of this, of all the people we've had on the show, or coming to chat as far as this, saying that, hey, they know this game. And if you like roguelike games, it is a weird case. You'd think it wouldn't be in a place like this. But it is unique, and I understand why this game took off as far as a cult following, because it was something that, especially for 1991, it was a game that maybe was a little ahead of its time. Not that there weren't roguelike games before, as I mentioned, they were emphasizing this being a lot like one from 1980, but a case of saying this kind of different, I guess, cartoony case of itself that's appealing for children because, hey, cute little weird-looking aliens, they'll kind of maybe go to that as far as how colorful it is. But also as far as stuff with music, it has this kind of nice style to itself. It has this nice sci-fi milieu. It has some, I guess, I don't know, social commentary, if you want to put it that way, when it comes to, I was looking at the people on Earth, and I know the next game especially goes for that, because the next game is basically an immigration story in a way, because the idea is that the next game in the franchise has humans coming to Funkatron, our planet, and we have to put him in, into canisters and send him back home, as the case, and it's a 2D platform. So it's totally different from this, as far as how it is. It's pretty interesting, and as far as this one, though, it is a game that it is one of the games that I definitely think about when I think about the Sega Genesis, as far as the style of it, how it sounds. It does look and sound great, especially the music, and it really emphasizes what the tech of the Sega Genesis does well, especially for the audio. The GM's audio driver, it did stuff with percussion and bass really well. And it has that great sound that, yeah, I guess they could have done this with Super Nintendo, but A, I don't know if Nintendo had said, well, let's go this direction as far as a game like this right yet, at least. They had other stuff that kind of did that later. And like RPGs and stuff like Legend of Zelda and other things. Or fine, Zelda's kind of an RPG, sort of, action RPG, but also RPGs that Nintendo makes, as far as kind of going around an area like this. Something where this is one of those definitely uniquely Sega games, you know? And something that, as I said, gave the Genesis an identity early in its life, and I think was also the case that people took notice. They said, yeah, Mario and Zelda and Metroid, those are good games and really interesting, but also a case of what's Sega doing? Like, well, they're putting out stuff like ToeJam Earl, they're putting out stuff like Sonic the Hedgehog, they're putting out some of these oblique games, but also stuff that, when you really dig underneath them, there's a lot of interesting things they have, and they make for interesting discussion, but also are fun to play still. And they're also doing things that a lot of other games like this we're not necessarily doing. And that's not to say that just because they're doing something unique, that automatically makes it good. But I think, the people who made this, Mark Vorsanger and Greg Johnson, they really stepped up to the plate. They had a vision of what they wanted to do, and the way they delivered it is something that you can clearly tell that passion they have. And that's the thing about this game. This has a lot of passion and a lot of love behind it. I think that's why people took notice. If it's one of those cases where saying, maybe I might have missed it, like for saying you didn't play it much, or fine, you said you hadn't played it. It's something where you kind of know it still, in a way. Maybe that curiosity of saying, what's it going to be like? But also a case where it kind of plays around, because as mentioned, the next game is a 2D platformer. The game in between it sort of is a light gun shooter, that being Ready Aim Tomatoes. Mission to Earth is a roguelike like this, as far as like a 3D case of itself, but it has platforming elements to it the same way that Pentagon Funkatron, the next game, has. And Back of the Groove is kind of a lot of everything, and it's also going dim. But yeah, it is an interesting case of itself, and if you haven't played ToeJam and Earl, It's going to be an acquired taste, I will definitely say that. And it's a game I kind of had to learn to kind of get into the rhythm of, fitting as far as its musical element, but when I did, I really had a lot of fun. It is hard though, especially later on, without continues. Yeah, you got to be very careful, but it's very rewarding, especially on a system like this. You can use void rewinds if you have to, like I did, but even then, not as bad as I thought. I thought it would be, oh, I'm going to have to abuse that constantly, but no, not really. And also, I made it fair enough, saying it's almost like a continued case. Saying put it down somewhere to be safe, and then when I die, we'll be able to go through and get through everything we need to go. Also, just make sure. Yeah, honestly, as far as the items, also looking as far as the items, making sure we didn't miss showing off a bunch. I think we showed really all of them pretty much. Yeah, we did. So I think in that case, we've covered all of them. And don't let Earl drive. Yeah. Also, I'm going to briefly show something. I'll go back to this once more, just to give a sense of what's going to happen, because I had a great time playing this game. If you've not played ToeJam Earl before, it's been collected a bunch of times. It is on Sega Genesis. It's not too expensive. I think I've seen it like $15, $20 if you want to get it the old way. But it is in the Sega Genesis Classics Collection, which is on Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. You can get that physically as far as how it is, because they listed the digital version. It was in the SVC Streets of Rage. Oh, I keep saying Streets of Rage. That's the one I know, the one I have. The SVC ToeJam Earl collection, which is this and its sequel, Panic on Funkatron. That got delisted, but I think it might still be available on PlayStation 3. I let it down here saying if they picked up on that and said, oh, we're pulling it off of PlayStation 3 as well. And it is on Switch Online, so you have Switch 1 or 2, and you have the Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack. You can play it, and you can also play its sequel. And it's a unique experience, even against the stuff that's on the Switch Online of Genesis or the Nintendo Classics, but these are just Sega Classics, as they are, generally speaking. Even against that, thinking of other games of Sega's. Let's go down the list briefly. Stuff like Alien Soldier, which is from Treasure, that being a run-and-gun shooter. Alien Storm, also kind of that, and a beat-em-up. Alicia Dragoon, which is from Game Arts. It's like a side-scrolling action RPG-ish case. Hack-and-slash RPG case with Beyond Oasis. Altered Beast, a beat-em-up of sorts. Crusader Sentis, an action RPG like a Zelda-like. Beat-em-up for Comic Zone. Columns, as far as puzzle game. Edgar the Dolphin, as far as being like ToeJam and Earl, a game that is different as far as the landscape of game, and actually maybe not that far off as far as the idea that's about exploration and also about an atmospheric world and creating an atmosphere. But even against other games, look at that as far as Sega. The Attitude Case with Kid Chameleon, just thinking about that quickly. Sonic, of course. You have that element going on Sonic. And still no Sonic 1 on this. I'm surprised they haven't put that up, because I know they could put Sonic 1 up here. They can't for Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, but I know they could with that one, so I'm still surprised that's not up here. The Streets of Rage games that kind of have their street element going on here. Arcade ports like Super Thunder. Well, it's not an arcade port. It's a sequel to an arcade game, and it sucks. At least this one does. Sort of sequel to an arcade game. Yeah, and then in terms of stuff like that, run-and-gun case. Yeah, even against stuff of Sega, this was creating an interesting perspective of it, not stuff you necessarily got. And if you, I would recommend you take a look at this. I don't know if you're necessarily going to fall in love with it. I don't know if I love this game, but I do think it's a fun time. It's a great atmosphere. It's also one of the most relaxing games I've played in a long time, particularly as far as the stuff we played this year. I just kind of can lose myself in this, and I do like that, and it is very chill. I mean, that's the idea. Sometimes you talk about the idea of a chill game. That's what ToeJam Earl could be. I mean, it gets a little tense later on, because like, oh shit, I could die. And I definitely did. But cases where it is very appealing, and it's a good one to relax with, but also something that, yeah, I think there's definitely value to this. I'd recommend you give it a look if you haven't played it. And it is easy to play as far as getting access to, so there is that as well. As far as other ports of this, yeah, I think most of them are, I mentioned most of them. And it's not on the Wii anymore because the Wii Virtual Console was turned off. But yeah, you can still get this, and it is an indelible case as far as Sega, and understandably so, and I had a great time playing it. And thanks again to AJ42 for making this request. I had a great time looking at ToeJam Earl for you and giving it the Super Bowl Game Saturday treatment. The next time we come to ToeJam Earl, it's going to be with this game. This is going to be ToeJam Earl in Panic on Funkatron. This came out in 1993 for Sega Genesis. This is a side-scrolling game. this is what Gemini 96 might have dibs on, because when they put this on Switch Online last year, after there was a long period of stuff not being on Sega Genesis and them uploading here, and even this year they've only uploaded a couple things, but they uploaded Streets of Rage, so I was very happy to see that. But when we did Switch Online Day, I said, oh, they put stuff on Genesis finally, thank God they put this up. And he said, oh, I played this game, I really liked it. Oh, you have? I was like, yeah, I bought it on Wii Virtual Console. I said, oh, fantastic. And it is 2-player co-op as well, the same way the first game is, but it is a different style. And also some interesting stuff when it comes to its funky graphics and funky music. It's good stuff. No short of funkiness to explore the side-scrolling game. Yeah, in this case, Earthlings came to Funkatron, they found out what it is. So it's kind of a reverse in terms of the first game. As far as when we'll do that, I don't know. But we'll definitely come to it, and I'm looking forward to getting to that point. With that, I'm going to load up the intro on ToeJam Earl again. I'll also probably edit out some of those coughing cases just going on with that. At that point, I think I'll be good as far as I should be in tip-top shape for next week's show. I'll do a poll now just before I go into that. Alrighty, so yeah, that's going to be Super Bowl Game Saturday for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I had a great time doing it. I am feeling good as far as myself. I'm feeling healthier, honestly, now than when I started. I was not sure if I would pull this through, but I knew I wanted to do it. I didn't want to disappoint everybody, but I also said, if I really was feeling bad, I would have let you know, and I will say that just to go on. If I get in a case like this where I feel like, hey, something's going wrong, or I'm not feeling good enough to do a show or something like that, or if I had the tech problems I had earlier on and it was not something that I got fixed, and hopefully it doesn't look like it's reflecting on the footage. I'll come on live, I'll tell you like, hey, I can't do this, and I'll reschedule, but we will definitely do it, because I do take the viewer requests seriously, and I thank you so much for making them. I thank AJ42 for this one. I had a great time playing this game, and it put me in a good mood. I think that's the idea. So like this, a game like ToeJam Earl definitely puts me in a good mood. Okay, so let's talk schedule then as far as next week's show. Next week's show is going to be also a viewer request, and we're starting Halloween block early. You're like, wait a second, it's August, right? I mean, it's less than 100 days to Halloween, as Crusader64 said last week. But yeah, we're going to be starting Halloween block next week, and we have to start it early because it's something where everything we got, we're going to have to get this stuff set, because we're going to have shows I'm off, so I have to make sure that we're going to be able to start it. We have to start stuff now so we can get that all taken care of. And a lot of the stuff is going to be viewer requests. In fact, we got 3 viewer requests this month, and this is just the first. Next week's going to be the second. That's going to be for Medieval for the PlayStation. That was requested by I'm Laughing to Death. He mentioned last year, Kishi mentioned last year when we played Twisted Metal, saying, for Halloween block, are you going to do Medieval? I said, we'll do that next year. And man, my word, when it comes to that. And I first was thinking a while ago, and I'm going to be ready to do this. And I think so. I'm going to be doing a little more practice this week just to get ourselves set for this one. But it's a 3D action, kind of Zelda-like, sort of. It plays Daniel Fortescue, who's an undead knight who comes back to life because in the Battle of Galamir in 1286, he was killed in battle by Zarok, an evil sorcerer, and he didn't live that down. It's a case where him dying in battle is not seen as something of honor. It's a case that, oh yeah, he failed because he died. But he came back to life because Zarok is back. And he's gonna take over Galamir again. And we gotta stop him. And these would be in a case of being able to put in the Hall of Heroes because of our death on the field back 100 years ago. Sir Daniel was not able to be put there, but then he has a chance to redeem himself. It's a very Nightmare Before Christmas style to itself. It's really interesting. It's from the developer of James Pond. I sent Edwack into an interesting rabbit hole when I mentioned that. I was doing my notes saying, oh my god, this is by the guy who made James Pond, that being Jason Wilson. We'll talk about that next week. The way we're going to play this game, we're going to be using the original PlayStation 1 version. I have it on the PlayStation 3, because you download it there. There's also a remake on PSP, that being Medieval Resurrection. There's the remake on the PS4, that being Medieval 2019. 2019. And I believe within that there is a port of the original PlayStation game. But I'm going to be using the original PlayStation game. It is interesting, it's very spooky and creepy, and very appealing as far as early shot of Halloween. It is an underrated one, and one that I came to late, but one I'm looking forward to playing and looking forward to starting our look at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week. It's worth pointing out we're going to have to put that game on hold for about a month, though. Actually, a little more than a month. We usually, when it comes to multi-part games, we usually do them the next month, but we're going to have to skip a month for that one. Because I believe we're going to need more than one part for that. I think. But I have a plan as far as that. We'll go into that in a sec. Week after next, we're going to be having a Friday show. It's going to be on August 22nd. The reason we're doing that is because we're celebrating 32 years to the day of the U.S. release of, well, I can show you right here. This. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master for Sega Genesis. I love this game so much. We played this game on the show before. First, I know you requested this game years ago. I know you wanted to see it. I know you weren't able to make it when we did it, but for our Super Bowl game Saturday Second Chance, we're going to be playing this game again, and I've been wanting to play this game as far as I said, I just love this game. I'd like to come back to it and give it another look and say, this is going to be the perfect opportunity. Let's celebrate its anniversary. But along with us looking at this game again, I'll go into new stuff that I didn't talk about last time. I'm also going to be using this as a little bit of a ninja showcase, because I'm also going to show off a little bit of a preview of our next stop for Shinobi when it comes to the case of the new game that we're going to play fully that's not something we already played before. The Revenge of Shinobi, which came out in 1989. It says 1990, I believe they're wrong. For Sega Genesis, and it's going to be very specific of the way we're going to show it, but for the purpose of preview, I will use this version. And then, on top of that, I will show you this. No, I don't want to open up Teki Paki, which is something that came part of the what's the name of it? It's something Dolly Finn requested of me. That was the Kyoku Tiger Heli collection, which is based on the Toe Plan arcade game. But I want to pull out the NES app briefly for this. Because on top of us playing through Shinobi 3 again, and I know that game really well, so it's not going to take that long, and give a little bit of preview on Revenge of Shinobi, I want to take a brief look at, where is it? Ninja Gaiden from NES, from Tecmo. Because remember, we have a new game in the Ninja Gaiden franchise, that being Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which came out on this console. It's also on all the other systems. And we have a new Shinobi game coming out at the end of the month. Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I have a pre-order on that game for PlayStation 5. I don't know if I'm getting it when it comes out at the end of August. But I'll have that physical version eventually. We'll definitely get to that game. And I said, let's take a look at Ninja Gaiden. We have not looked at Ninja Gaiden much. I mean, we looked at the Xbox version as far as a preview. But I said, for our Ninja celebration, why don't we take a look at this? And depending on how long that goes, I might also look at Shadow Dancer again. And the only reason I'll say that is because I had audio problems the first time we did it. But that would be a brief preview if I'm going to do that again. But we played it before. But as I said, part of our second chance and a little bit of a ninja celebration. That's going to be Friday, though, August 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then week after that, I can go to this because I don't have anything else here that's going to be indicated for stuff I'm going to be doing on the schedule coming up soon. Dolly Finn's coming in on August 30th. We're starting Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights for the PlayStation 2. I believe that's going to be a multi-part game too, at least 2 parts. We start that one early, I believe. I'll talk to her about this. I think we'll start that at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think, to maximize time for it. She wanted to see this as far as another look at Scooby-Doo. Particularly this one, which is by Heavy Iron Studios. These are the people who made the game based on The Incredibles. They made Evil Dead Hail to the King from Dreamcast and PlayStation. And they made SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. And like all of those, it does a great job of capturing its license. Maybe better than any of the other ones. Except maybe SpongeBob. But something where it is a really fun Metroidvania-style 3D platforming collectathon game that captures the spirit of Scooby-Doo very well. With all the voice performances you're going to want, and also some guest stars that I never knew I would have. I mentioned Tim Curry's in this game. There's someone else who's pretty famous, actually 2 other people very famous, who are also in this. You're not going to want to miss the start of that case of it, as we continue our Halloween block case. So yeah, we're getting Halloween block started with 2 games, that was being Medieval and Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights for this month on August 30th. And then, getting into September, must be said, we're not going to have a live show again until September 20th. Because I got a lot going on in September. So what I did is I have content for you for September 6th and also on September 12th and 13th. September 6th, I'm going to be putting this live premiere on our YouTube site early in the day. I'm putting this at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have the Nintendo Switch 2 Chronicles Part 2. A few weeks ago when I was off, I uploaded the first look, which is looking at this Nintendo Switch 2 here, and saying, let's look at all its overall features, let's see what they got, and see what's the boot up of the system like, the initial setup, look at some games on it, look at the classic apps for this for GameCube and every other system. I said, let's start the backwards compatibility tests. You gotta start looking at this. So I said, alright, I want to create some content, so I ended up with 10 hours. Yeah, 10 hours of content. Tons and tons and tons of games, which I finished editing actually earlier today. That will look at a ton of things running, as far as Switch 1 games, running on Switch 2, asking the important question, which is, what is the backwards compatibility really doing for this? And is it maybe making some games better to play on this? It's going to represent some games we played on the show before, but it's also going to represent a lot we have and a lot of stuff I think I've been asked for, and also stuff that is of franchises and also of genres we have not yet touched on this show. It's going to be a lot. It's the biggest video I've ever created, as it turns out. Even the Shadow Hearts Covenant parts didn't run as long as this is gonna. But I also have timestamps down to every single game as far as that, because there's so much content here. But I had a great time looking at it. It's a little bit of a preview of a bunch of things. And it's going to give you some extra stuff, despite the fact that we're not going to be on that weekend. And then the week after that, we have the next two parts of The Wolf Among Us. They're going to be on September 12th and 13th. At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, they will be on the YouTube site as well. As I mentioned, for that game, we're going to have to, I have to do it off screen. I had to censor out nudity, but we do have the game. We're going to continue our adventure with Big B Wolf for episodes 3 and 4. They're going to be a bit shorter, but you're also getting 2 shows that week. And then we'll be back live on September 20th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Chasm 22 and Crusader 64 for Part 6 of Shadow Hearts Covenant, which we might finish that day. Don't know. We'll figure it. And then the week after that, I talked to Nocturne. We are going to be doing Croc Legend of the Gobos as far as the finale. We're going to probably have to use the cheat code out of the Sega Saturn and PlayStation game. I tested the PlayStation. She has on Saturn to show off the extra levels because we could not get all the Gobos. And we put the game on the shelf for about a year. So we're going to have to come back to it as far as this and finish it. Because, yeah, if we have to put a game on the table for something, A, we're going to have a reason for it, and B, we're not going to leave it hanging. Also, there's the whole deal about the Croc HD version. We're still waiting on our physical editions from Rocket Games. I have not gotten any update from them outside of them saying, hey, we're going to be doing, having this coming around this summer as far as those physical editions. So, I will say this, because this is going to be our second chance show as well for September, because I was going to say we're going to take a look at that HD version, but I will say this. If I do not get the physical editions in time for the PlayStation 5, which is how we are getting them, I will download the Switch version and I'll run it through Switch 2, and that's how we'll show that. If it has to come to that. I mean, we'll see, because remember, end of summer is September 20th, so we do have some time, and it's going to be a little close to the wire, but we do want to show that off and have that as a second chance for the month. And also, as I mentioned, since we don't have a viewer request for September, that's what that Switch 2 Chronicles thing is going to be, because the stuff I know is asked for. And we have 3 viewer requests this month as is. Then October 4th. I'm not going to be here live, so I'm going to have a show going up on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on October 4th. That'll be the finale of The Wolf Among Us on the YouTube site. And then a week after that, I still talk to Crusader 64 and Chasm 22 on this, about which weekend it's going to be. We're going to have either the finale of Shadow Hearts Covenant then, or we're going to have the finale of Medieval. So we'll come back to Medieval in October. And same also with Shadow Hearts Covenant. And If we do need that last part of Shadow Heart's Covenant, it'll be the finale. I am sure of that now, based on what Grishanier64 said, and also because we got tons and tons and tons of progress made last time. We will be able to have that going for the finale. Though if we do finish it early, I'll figure what we can do as far as that. I'll also say this, if we do finish early and if we do need another part of Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, I will have that in its place. But if not, we'll have Scooby-Doo Night of Frights. We'll have its finale in December. Because I think that's what's going to have to be. Because on September 20, or on October 25th, I should say, Electverse wanted to see for Super Nintendo Mega Man 7. It's going to be our second chance. Doctor's going to be with me for that one. I'm going to show off the 2-player mode as an extra, but I'm going to be running through the game myself. We're going to have a great time looking at that underrated 2D platforming game of Capcom's for Super Nintendo. It tends to be something that, I guess, do people like that one? I mean, Electverse, you mentioned you have to comment on our video as far as that, saying, I love this game. It's my favorite one. Fight me. I'm not going to fight you on that one. I love it myself. It's actually my first classic Mega Man game. I'm looking forward to playing it for you and going into it specifically. And then on Halloween night, we have Castlevania Chronicles for PlayStation. And then a week after that, we're going to also not be on. That's going to be November 8th. We're going to have another Switch 2 Chronicles video with some extra stuff. I won't make it 10 hours, I don't think. And we will eventually have, I think, one of those live. I think it might be worth doing that. And then November 15th, we're going to have Shadow the Hedgehog. We're going to celebrate 20 years of that game by going through the expert mode. As our second chance for November. November 22nd is going to be No Gear for Super Nintendo, or as our Disney game, and also our viewer request, because Dolphin wants to see that. And November 29th is going to be our Delisted Xbox Live Showcase Volume 2 with a bunch of games that have been delisted from Xbox 360, stuff that might be backwards compatible as well. But you can't buy it on 360 anymore, and we're going to celebrate some of that stuff, and we'll tell you where some of that stuff is available. Just to go on that, there are a couple games I know was asked for, which we'll be showing. I know AG42 requested ToeJam Earl tonight. He wanted to see Penny Arcade and Lorraine's to the Precipice of Darkness. We're going to show that. And many more going on as well. And December is a question on some stuff. But we will have the finale of Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights if we need it in December. And assuming we don't have an open slot for October. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll know after the next Shadow Heart's Covenant part. And we're also going to start Yoshi's Island for Super Nintendo. I'm going to be starting that. That's my gift to myself this year. And I'm going to celebrate 30 years of that game. You bet I'm going to do that. I'm not forgetting that one. So we'll have that starting in December. And then as far as second chance, I don't know. I'm in discussion with my brother in Hertnock because he also is saying, hey, you know, he might be around for some shows at the end of the year, so I'm going to try and see some stuff for him. I'll ask him about this. I kind of want to do a second chance on Castle of Illusion. And we did play World of Illusion years ago, so maybe we want to be on that. Or something. We'll figure that. And then I don't know what I'm doing on viewer requests for December, but that's going to be that. And then on December 31st, the Super Bowl Game Saturday Sings compilation is going up on the YouTube site as our final video of the year. I already have stuff I'm cutting out. I'm looking forward to putting that up because it's going to be quite a time, for sure. We definitely have a song in our hearts and love in our hearts as far as gaming, as far as music and stuff like that. So we'll have a lot of that going. And then in January, just to go into that starts our new initiative. Name to be determined probably in a few weeks when I ask Nikki about this, because I think we need a better name for this. We're doing preview programs every month next year of games that are really long. We don't know how to scope, or I don't know how to scope them. So I'm asking all of you out there on our Best Challenge Twitch, how do you want to see some of these games handled? And Electverse games you've asked for that said, I want to get to. I want to get to BlazBlue Calamity Trigger for the PlayStation 3. I want to get to Persona 3 FES for the PlayStation 2. I want to get to Kingdom Hearts Rechained of Memories. But it's also something I've sat down, I've talked with other people. Said, how are we going to scope these? How do we want to do this? So I want to ask all you. We'll take a look at it. We'll preview it as far as it. But then I'm going to ask, how do you want to see this game delivered as far as a full play? We do one of those a month, so it's going to be something where we might not come back to that game again right away. But when we get a better answer for that, that actually might help out. And part of that's also going to be my blind first play of Final Fantasy XIV. that's going to be quite an adventure, and I know Crusader64 and Kaz22 are going to be involved in some capacity, whether it's going to be with them online at home, handling it, and helping show me the ropes. Maybe being in studio with another TV to have a LAN party with it or something. We'll figure it. But yeah, looking forward to that, and we're going to come up with a different name. I love calling the preview programs what they are when we do those, but I said for this one, I don't know. I initially thought Super Bowl Game Saturday scoping sessions, but I'm going to ask Nikki. She came up with the name of the show, so I think she can come with a really good name as well. So that rolls off the tongue a little nicer than that. But I think that's going to be the case of it. So, all right. So a bit of a shorter show, but I had a great time playing ToeJam Earl for Sega Genesis. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you, Lek, for stopping by the show. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well, and looking forward to seeing you in the future for the show. Thank you so much to AJ42 as well for making this request. I had a great time playing ToeJam Earl for you. I'm looking forward to the next time we come back to ToeJam Earl with Panic at Funkatron and other stuff you and anybody else in our best chat on Twitch wants to see. Just keep those requests coming. We'll get to them, I promise, and I will definitely do everything I can to bring them to you. Even fighting with the sickness. This shows the dedication of this show. And how much I love doing it. But I will be alright, so don't worry about that. I am not dying. I went to my urgent care case yesterday. They said, we're going to check if it's strep throat, but I'm feeling better now. It's just a case where, yeah, I'm talking a lot, even as far as a 3.5-hour show, so I got to stop. But thank you so much, everybody, for watching the show, and I will edit out as many of those coughs as I can, just to let you know. So with that, have a great rest of your weekend, a great rest of your night, and a great week coming forward. I will see you next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Part 1 of Medieval for the PlayStation. Till then, keeping awesome, have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and I'll see you next week.